Thanks for tuning in to this episode of the Gaming Stooges Talks podcast. We are the Gaming Stooges.
I'm Jack.
You can call me Cloud.
And I'm Landon.
We hope you enjoyed today's discussion, and if you do, please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel, following us on Twitch, or joining our Discord. Let's get on with the show.
Hey, Jack.
Hey, Cloud.
24. We're doing the 2024 year in review here at Gaming Stooges. That's right, we got another year in review for you guys, which means we're going to go over everything that was worthy of note to us.
Okay.
Over the course of 2024. That is going to be largely game releases, but also some key events in the gaming industry, if applicable. These are going to be in the order of when they happened by North American release. So, of course, if something came out earlier in Japan or Europe or later, that's not relevant here.
We're Americans here.
And for games, it's going to consider the initial release for modern platforms on whatever platform they originally came out on. So a lot of the time you'll have a game that comes out on one system first and then later in the year on another. We're just going to go with when they came out on the first one. So for instance, if we were doing a game that came out on PC first but then came later at a console, we'd do the PC release even if we played the console versions instead. It's just balancing the timeline. And then after we go through everything that we have for this year, month by month, we will also do a section where we talk about what we personally did this past year, games we played that may not have come out this past year, streams that we did, just kind of what did we do in gaming that was relevant to us over the course of 2024.
AKA
without further...
The part of the stream where Landon shames me for not playing enough video games.
I would never shame you, but I will gaslight you into thinking you played one more game than you actually played.
Without further ado, let's go ahead and just jump right in because we're going to have a lot to talk about. First of which is in January. Just so you guys know, the first half of the month had nothing that was interesting enough to us to talk about. So we're just going to skip right to the 18th.
That's usually how it goes for January releases, honestly. Not a lot of stuff in the
2025,
early
baby.
month.
Can't wait for that podcast episode.
Oh, boy.
Yep. So, 18th, we had Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. That was released on PC, Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series. To give myself a little bit of chance to breathe, if it is on all of those systems, because that's all of our current modern platforms, I'll just kind of segment. I'll try
all
to
current modern
that.
platforms.
Yeah, but if even one of them is missing, I will say all of them. But yeah, all current modern platforms. The Lost Crown. On the 19th, though, we had three releases. The first one, Another Code Recollection for the Switch.
Lennon, I can tell by the way that you're shaking it and the way that it's shining against the light in the room that it is still sealed, and you have not played it yet. Oh, it's open.
Nope, never mind.
Eat your heart out, bitch. I played this one.
How was it?
It was good. We'll get there.
Okay.
Oh, he's going to share later. On the 19th, we also saw the release of The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered on PS5. And I also added, why?
Money.
Why indeed?
Money.
This game is not that old.
It literally is on the PS4. You can put it in your PS5. It doesn't make sense. It's stupid. It's literally just money, just like you said. Also, it was released as an early access, and as of the time of this podcast, still is technically in early access. We got the release of Pal World on PC, Xbox One, and Xbox Series. It was a pretty big deal for about 2 weeks.
It really was. It felt like everybody was talking about Pal World, mostly because nothing else was really coming out at this time. I mean,
As far as mainstream games.
Another Code Recollection notwithstanding, most people in the mainstream audiences will not be playing Another Code Recollection.
Those people are fucking wrong.
So they needed something to talk about for the 5 days, the week between this and Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, so...
Fair.
I mean, to be fair, it was it's a lot bigger than most of the games that we're going to talk about for a while. Objectively, even if we're not in that crowd.
It's true. I mean, it was popular.
It's
but
it's already at what, over 10 million or something like that.
It was.
I
in
really
sales?
I really think from what gameplay I've seen, this game looks boring, and I don't care. It is just like a generic survival game with like Pokemon ripoffs in it.
Yeah, it's like Ark Survival Evolved mixed with Pokemon,
But with Pokemon ripoffs.
and edgy Pokemon at that, so
I mean,
it's-
it helps that they released it on Game Pass. Like, without Game
Yeah.
Pass, I don't think it might have done as big as it did.
True.
oh yeah, for sure. But we're gonna move on to the next one, which is the 25th. So we got a new release, a new date. We got Apollo Justice Ace Attorney Trilogy.
Yeah, good
Good
answer,
answer,
Steve.
We're still playing that.
Yeah.
Specifically, we got PC, Switch, PS4, and Xbox One, so it was not released on the current gen non-PC platforms, but who cares? It's Apollo Justice Ace Attorney Trilogy.
This game came out over a year ago, and when I saw the tweet that was that the Ace Attorney Twitter posted, that was like, the Apollo Justice trilogy came out 1 year ago today, and I'm like, fuck, really? We're not even halfway done with Dual Destinies yet. Like,
You're gonna be playing this for another whole ass year, dude.
I
It's gonna be 2026,
I mean,
and you are still gonna be
we're gonna
near the end of
we're
the
taking
third
a
game.
break. We're taking a long ass break when we're done with Dual Destinies, because Dual
literally have
Destinies
to.
is long as fuck. But yeah, to be fair, I don't think we started this until we started we started Apollo Justice in like April, because I want to say that we were still playing through Investigations 2 at the time. I don't remember. I could be wrong. We were doing something else either way.
We were. I think the issue was we were also playing The Wind Waker at the same time.
That too, yeah.
We were doing The Wind Waker, and we were doing Apollo Justice, like when it came out. Like, I remember we were doing it around the same time.
Okay, no, yeah, we
was
did.
Still like active.
Okay, yeah. I guess I'm thinking that we were. I guess I got April from that's around when we finished it. So I just like in my head thought like, yeah, that's when we started it. But no, yeah, that makes more sense. But either way, there was a large gap between Apollo Justice and Dual Destinies.
Great fucking games though. Like they did a pretty solid job with the collection, and it's been a lot of fun to revisit.
No, it's a great collection, and like I'll talk more about it later, like the Apollo Justice specifically.
Yeah, when you get to the stream game stuff.
Yeah.
Also, the day after, we had two more releases. On the 26th, we had Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, as mentioned earlier. That was on PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series.
I think
put that in for
I think
Al,
in an
but it
instance
is
like that, you can probably say everything but
everything
the
but
Switch.
Switch. I'll still say it.
Because there's probably going to be a few games like that on here.
I think there's a couple, but not as many as you might think, to be honest. There's actually more instances of like Xbox not getting something and then like PS4 and Switch getting it. It's interesting. But this isn't here because Al, he's a big Like a Dragon fan, and
I mean, it was objectively like a huge release.
It is a notable release. One of the bigger Like a Dragon titles, based on the reaction and the hype behind it.
Like, I have never played any of the Yakuza games, and I feel bad for that because like it looks like it's right up my alley, honestly. But like it's just the daunting task of getting into the franchise because of how many games there are, because I've seen like gameplay footage of Infinite Wealth and it looks hilarious and I want to play it, but also there's like 18 games that come before it.
All right. And then also on the 26th, we had the release of Tekken 8 on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series. So
that was another
big new Tekken game.
New main series Tekken game. Good for I don't really play Tekken, but good for Tekken.
Good for Tekken and Tekken fans. And then the last release of January, I just wanted to put in, there was the release of Celeste 64 Fragments of the Mountain on PC. I did not know this was a game. Apparently this is Celeste, but if it was like a Nintendo 64 game.
Okay. I'm kind of pissed off because until I was reading over the document a few days ago just to like prep myself for the stream, I didn't know this was a thing. I mean, I've seen like pictures of it, but I thought it was just like, it's just like a cute like fan art recreation of like Celeste, but if it was a 64 game. No, it's real. And
I heard it's not obviously it's not as good as the original Celeste.
Well, I mean,
I've heard some good things about it.
Yeah.
It's not nearly as overwhelmingly positive.
I'd like to play it at some point, but honestly,
it does
I'd
seem
like to
a game you'd want to play.
I'd like to stream Celeste before I do that.
It looks like it's a free download on itch.io.
Yeah,
it is free. Yep.
Yeah, they released it for free. They didn't. I don't remember that. I remember reading like they didn't charge for it because of some thing about the game. Like it was just there as like a treat of sorts. So yeah, you don't have to buy it. We're gonna move on to February though. The first we had actually on the 2nd there was 3 games that came out, and all of them notable in their own special way.
Oh boy.
The first one was Jujutsu Kaisen Cursed Clash, released on all current modern platforms. I can't say gen because Switch and PS4 technically last gen. More PS4 though. But it was notable because from what I've heard, it's not good.
Yeah, I mean, it's a Jujutsu Kaisen game, so I don't know what people expected from that.
I mean, we've had like anime fighting games that are actually decent.
I know, but like this just feels like a cash grab.
It was 100% a cash grab. And as someone who once read Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yep.
It's a cash grab. I've seen the first season and the movie, I think. It's been a while.
I've read the whole thing. It's what it is. Anyway, gross.
Also on the 2nd, we had Persona 3 Reload released for PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series. I played an hour of it, and then I forgot to go back to it. But I liked what I played.
He's further than me, folks. I still have mine sealed downstairs.
I'm taking back what I said in our... I forget it. Did we do an anticipated game stream last year?
We didn't, but we did. We talked about stuff in the stream before the year in review. Then I forgot that we did that, and we did it again in the actual year in review.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, I said that this would be a day one purchase for me, and I still haven't gotten it yet. Mostly because it's like I want to get it physically, but I'm so like adverse to buying like games on PS4 nowadays because I feel like I'm just buying a shittier version of like the game because it's not on modern platforms.
I see what you're doing because it is on PS4 and PS5 now. Like everything. I think what you're doing is like you want to get a PS5, but you've been putting it off because it's honestly you don't need one right now.
I really don't.
But then you also have the dilemma where when you want to get a new game, you're like, well, I want to get it for the current gen stuff, but you're still putting off getting the current gen stuff.
And it's like realistically, I could buy it on Steam, but buying games on Steam is lame because I want a physical copy. I want a disc for this game.
I thought I heard this was one where the PS4 version actually ran the best.
Really?
I think.
I think I heard something about that.
So even if you buy the PS4 version,
I don't know if the PS4 version has the free upgrade.
Like,
well,
something to think about.
I definitely do still want to play it, but at some point I want to trade in my PS4 and get a PS5 because my PS4 is over a decade old and I don't really need it anymore. And if I can get a PS5 on my hands for relatively cheap. But the thing is they have not gone down in price at all. And they've been out for 4 years.
Here's the thing, Jack. Neither has the Nintendo Switch. That's been out for 7-8 years.
Yeah.
It's not... I'm sorry to tell you this, but hardware is not going to go down anymore. It's just not. You just have to get the system when you want it.
The Switch is $300, and that's affordable.
I know. I'm just putting it in perspective. Don't get your hopes up of game consoles going down in price anymore because that's just not how the market works, unfortunately, at this point.
Not until PlayStation 6. Then it'll go down by $5.
Yeah,
maybe $5.
If
maybe
you can
10
get it, and
if 10 if they're bold.
That's if you can get it used. It'll go down by $5.
You know, GameStop might give you $7.50 for the used one. Big numbers, I know. Anyway, let's keep moving on though. I would suggest though, I'll tell you right now, the PS5 version, the graphical fidelity didn't feel that much more than a PS4 game. I don't think you'd be missing that much if you just got it. I mean, PS4.
Probably not, but also like I don't know why. I just haven't bought a PS4 game in like a while. I can't remember the last PS4 game I bought. I want to say it was Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1+2, and that came out in the COVID year.
All right. The next game that came out, and last game that came out on the 2nd of February, was Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League for PC, PS5, and Xbox Series.
Pass.
This game was riddled with controversy, and for good reason. That was definitely one of the games of this year.
Why are you still talking about it?
On the 6th, we had Foam Stars for PS4 and PS5,
What the fuck
which
is
was
Foam
made by
Stars?
Square Enix, or published by Square Enix at the very least, and was made to be like a PlayStation version of Splatoon.
This. Yeah, this is the fucking Splatoon ripoff that they have, because
And
Sony has zero original ideas in their bones.
I mean, to be fair, it was not made by Sony. It was just for Sony's platforms.
I know, but it is exclusive.
It was definitely made for Sony.
Yeah, this was Sony wanted this. Like, even if they didn't make it, they wanted it. We want our own Splatoon.
Honestly, this was the same position where they were in back on the PS1, where they wanted stuff like Crash and Spyro, but they didn't make it themselves. But unlike those games, this one bombed.
Yeah,
so
and for good reason.
And then on the 8th, there was Helldivers 2, released on PC and PS5. I heard good things about it when the game was much more active. Unfortunately, I never got around to playing it.
My friends have been trying to get me to buy Helldivers 2 for a while because they've been playing it a lot, and I've heard it's good, but it's $40, and I kind of don't want to.
I have it. The issue is it's just the kind of game that I'm not into, but flavor-wise, it sounded really interesting. Just the gameplay is something that I've just never jived with, so I wasn't compelled to play it yet.
I was given a free copy
fair.
and I've never played it, so don't feel bad.
On the 14th, we had the release of the Tomb Raider Trilogy Remastered. That was on all current modern platforms. We had everything, so that was pretty cool.
I'm amazed. I didn't know this existed, honestly.
They're also they're going to be releasing one for 4 through 6, I think this year.
Damn.
Yeah. So it's interesting because they do have a look to them that's classic but just touched up. It's pretty neat. I've heard decent things about them, so it's good.
Own this one because they had a physical release come out for it.
It's true. I do remember that. On the 16th, we had the release of Mario vs. Donkey Kong on the Switch, the remake of the original Game Boy Advance game.
Good answer,
was
Steve.
Played by Landon. He streamed that game.
Go watch those VODs. There's only 2 of them.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I didn't do the play the game again levels. I just played it through the one time, but I had a really fun time with this game. It's really good. It's good.
Yeah, we'll talk more about it later.
Go buy a Switch and play this game.
Yeah, just this game though.
Just this game.
Oh, thankfully, it's a good thing that Mario vs. Donkey Kong came out on the 16th, because otherwise, the 16th was plagued by a different game known as Skull and Bones, released on the PC, PS5, and Xbox Series, a game that Ubisoft infamously called the first quadruple A game.
Oh yeah.
This man.
That's how I know what this game is.
This man. He did not include this game on the first pass of this, and I was like, should I include it?
Yes, it's the first quadruple A game.
I was wondering because I realized there was no hyphen between the date and the name. I was like, wait a minute.
Oh yeah,
that makes sense now because you didn't do that.
I just forgot on that one. But yes, this game's awful.
The only thing I know about this game is the 4-minute donkey video that he did where him and his friend just call it, they just see everything and they're just like, oh, look at that. That's quad A sand right there. You can only get that in quad A gaming.
Wow, 4 minutes. 1 minute for every A.
Yeah.
That's right. Let's move on. On the 20th, we had the release of a major game, a very important game called Balatro. And that was originally released on a PC, but it also had Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series. So it is out on everything, just about. Balatro, big game. It is a card roguelike game. Very interesting. I haven't played it yet. I have a copy.
Where is it? Show it to us.
It's in the other room. I'm not going to go.
I think you sold it.
No, I have it.
I'm going to buy you a copy every month for the rest of existence until I'm no longer able to buy a copy.
Please don't.
You'll have so many copies of Balatro. You'll have no choice but to play it.
Yeah.
God.
Eventually, it'll be your entire gaming library because you won't be able to fit any other games in your home.
Exactly. Then you'll have no choice.
Yeah. You'll have to play Balatro.
Right. Did you guys want to say anything about Balatro, or do you guys want to hold off until later?
We'll talk about it later.
It's fun, but yeah.
All right. We also had the next day, on the 21st, we had a big release for me personally. We had Penny's Big Breakaway, released on PC, Switch, PS5, and Xbox Series, notably no PS4 or Xbox One release.
When I was scrolling through the list, I saw this, and I was like, damn, I still need to play this game. I really want to.
It's so good.
I'm patiently waiting for the physical release to come in the mail from Limited Run.
Same, I think. I think I ordered that.
You might want to check, but yeah.
I'm fairly certain I did.
I believe it's supposed to be their April, like on their April drop this year, so I will have something to play. I fully intend to play this game when I get it. I'm very excited for it, and Cloud's stream looked a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, I'll talk more about it when we get to the end. It's funny that I forgot Skull and Bones, but somehow I managed to remember on the 27th the release of Shiren the Wanderer, the mystery dungeon of Serpent Coil Island for Switch.
This game is hard as balls.
10 out of 10?
10 out of 10.
Yeah. All right. On the 28th, this is not a game, but this was a key event. We had studio Toys for Bob splitting off from Activision, becoming an independent developer. As of right now, it sounds like they are working with Microsoft on a possible title. We don't know. There's speculation it's Spyro related because they teased Spyro a little bit, but like we don't know anything about it yet. So they're in the middle of development on whatever this game is. But for the future, they will be able to make games on an independent basis. So that's going to be really cool. Yeah, I'm excited to see what they do as a big indie studio, basically. It's going to be cool. Maybe because of them moving to independent, we might see them work with Nintendo on some of their other IP to like help rejuvenate certain old series.
No, it won't happen.
No, won't happen. I can hope.
I
can hope. Maybe they can make a new Star Fox.
Ha!
Come on, Toys for Bob. They could do a remake of Star Fox Adventures to get their feet wet. I don't know, man. Anyway, moving on. The last thing to talk about on February was on the 29th, because this was a leap year, the release of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which is the second game of the Final Fantasy VII Remake series, which is slated to be a trilogy, but we'll see. That was only on PS5. I didn't get it yet, so I haven't played it yet, but I do want to get around to it. I'm kind of, you guys will find out why, but I have a good reason for not paying attention to Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, because reasons. Anyway, March, we got a bit of stuff. The first of the month, we had an insanely crazy game come out that nobody saw coming. Euphoria the Saga 2 for PC, Switch,
brother.
PS5, and Xbox Series.
It's right here,
Who
brother.
saw this game? Who saw this game coming? I didn't.
I did.
Landon, you don't lie. You hoped for Euphoria the Saga 2, but you never expected it.
I hoped it into the world.
I hate to say
You
it,
did?
but I think I forgot to pre-order Penny's Big Breakaway. Unfortunate.
Rip track.
Oh well.
Yeah, that was Euphoria the Saga 2. On the 8th, we had the release of Unicorn Overlord on Switch, PS4, PS5, and Xbox Series.
I still need to play this one.
I was going to say, I'm surprised you haven't yet. It looked like a game that you were going to want to play.
Listen, there's too much
You
shit.
have a lot to play.
There's too much
I
fucking
know.
shit.
There's
Do
too
you
much
see all
shit.
this shit over here?
There's no room for Unicorn Overlord at the moment.
There was no room for Unicorn Overlord.
On the 14th, we saw the release of the Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection.
Boo!
On PC, Switch,
Boo.
PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series, so all current modern platforms. Yeah,
This shit sucks.
I heard some bad stuff about this port.
It sucks too, because you can literally buy and play the original Battlefront 2 on Steam right now, and it has online. There is no reason for this to be so shit. Like, how did they fuck it up this badly?
Yeah, unfortunate. On the 22nd, there was the release of Dragon's Dogma 2 on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series.
Neat.
One day I'll get it.
It was a big release for a couple people in our server, not us particularly.
Well, I like Dragon's Dogma 1. I just...
Didn't get around to Dragon's Dogma 2.
No, I haven't even bought it yet, so...
Now, we had a lot of stuff happen on the 22nd, by the way, because almost the rest of the stuff, except for one thing, all happened on the 22nd, including the release of Princess Peach Showtime on the Switch. And Landon is holding his copy up, and he's letting Jack know that it is opened.
I have to prove
I know.
that I played
remember
a
you
video
playing that
game
one.
once.
One time.
The only thing that so far that has been opened is Euphoria the Saga 2, but that is because I streamed a digital copy because the physical release didn't come out till like months later, and
yeah. You wanted to play that shit right away.
that was one of those
You were
ones-
double dipping if you had to.
I triple dipped. I own it physically on Switch and PS5. That's how nutso I am.
Nice.
Maybe they'll make
That's
a
how much
Euphoria-
this man...
They need to make Euphoria the Saga 3.
This man was so hype about Euphoria the Saga 2. He triple dipped, not even over time, right away.
Basically, I was like, I'm a pre-order. Plus, it was like $40 for the physical. So I'm like, whatever.
Oh, wow.
Or something. It was under. It was 40 or under, and I was like, whatever. Fuck it. Let's just do it on both systems. I've got mad cash now. I'm rich. Large quotes.
And then we had the also on the 22nd, the release of the Rise of the Ronin on PS5.
Nice. Never played it. Pass.
And then last thing that happened on the 22nd, this is a very minor one though. There was the Legend of Legacy HD remastered on PC, Switch, PS4, PS5. If you don't know, that used to be a 3DS game. And they remastered it and brought it over. So
I need to play more of this.
Pointing out.
I need to play more of this and The Alliance Alive. Those were
It is an Atlas game.
It's like an Atlas. Is it an Atlas? If it's an Atlas game, it's an Atlas
I think
published game.
I think it's published. It's Atlas published, not developed.
Same with Unicorn Overlord, because Unicorn Overlord is a vanillaware.
Last thing that happened in March on the 26th was the release of South Park Snow Day.
It was NIS
on PC.
America that published the Legend
Oh.
of Legacy.
My bad. I mixed those two up. Slightly adjacent to each other, not quite the same. But yeah, South Park Snow Day came out on PC, Switch, PS5, Xbox Series. Haven't played it, but it is the new South Park game.
I forgot that it came out.
I did too.
I didn't, but I didn't care, so.
To be honest, the only South Park game that I had any like major interest in was the first one. After that, it kind of lost its magic a little bit.
Yeah.
Like
It was like,
the
okay.
charm of playing a South Park video game is just like, okay, this is whatever.
Like we've
it's
had
like now
South Park games
now
in
it's
the
a
past,
strategy
but, like,
RPG.
Yeah.
It's like okay.
The charm of it having like the really nice true to cartoon.
Yeah,
true to
no, it's
cartoon
like the
visuals,
art
it's
style
like-
is like perfect, like 1-to-1 to the show. But like that kind of
that
loses
novelty's
it
yeah.
loses the novelty after the first game, honestly.
Right. So moving on to April, nothing happened for like the first week or so, but on April 9th, to celebrate the 15th anniversary of the all-out Nintendo Union, obviously, Nintendo ended online services for the Wii U and 3DS with the sole exception of Pokemon Bank and its related Poke Transporter app. Everything else is done. So no more playing 3DS online unless you mod your system, which is surprisingly easy to do. That said, let's move on to the next day. We had on the 10th the release of Broken Roads for PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series.
The fuck is this game?
I forgot. I remember looking at it and I knew I had a reason for including it, but I don't remember.
This looks generic as fuck. It's a post-apocalyptic Western RPG. Wow, it's so original.
Was this the one that was made with like AI technology?
Yeah, it was
broken.
yeah, it wasn't.
It
supposed.
sucks.
Yeah, it was supposed to be like AI created like knockoff of Red Dead Redemption or something. I think that's
Is
why.
that what this one was?
I think I remember
like-
adding it for some reason similar to that. Yeah.
I think it was I don't know if it's like a direct ripoff because I haven't played it, but the Wikipedia page mentions Disco Elysium in the first paragraph. So
That's funny.
It is an isometric like RPG similar to like Fallout 1.
On the 23rd, we had the release of Ayuden Chronicle 100 Heroes for all current modern platforms. So we had new Ayuden Chronicle. It's pretty cool. They used to be a big series way back in the day, so I just wanted to drop the new release here. I have a couple of games in this series spread throughout the year, but the first of them on the 23rd was the release of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Arcade rather than Mutants. This was originally an arcade title, and then it was ported over. We got it on all current modern platforms on the 23rd of April. On the 25th, the game Saga Emerald Beyond was released on PC, on mobile, Switch, PS4, and PS5.
Ooh.
It's a new Saga game. Apparently, it was, it was a mobile game, and they put it on everything else besides Xbox.
Wow,
But
thanks, Square Enix.
here's a cool title. On the 26th, we saw the release of Sandland on PC, PS4, PS5, and Xbox Series. It is a game based on the Sandland anime, which was based on the Sandland manga that was released a much longer time ago. But yeah, Sandland.
Toriyama, R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Gave me a
Toriyama.
present for my
R.I.P.
birthday.
I did not put that.
You got a much better birthday present than I did. I got fucking Saga Emerald Beyond from Square Enix.
Yeah.
Fucking vehicular combat. Eat your heart out. This game's fun.
And then also on the 26th, not Landon's birthday gift, was Stellar Blade for PS5. That is a big PS5 exclusive currently. I'm interested in playing this, but I just haven't gotten around to it. So
You're not interested enough in the tits and ass.
Yeah, I already got enough of that from Nier Automata. We're good. I don't need Stellar Blade. I got Nier Automata. I can just go back to that. But yeah, no, I heard this was a good game. Al played this, so I'm sure he enjoyed it. He did say that he enjoyed it, considering he said good game. Let's move on to May, though. We got on the 2nd the release of Endless Ocean Luminous on the Switch. So there was a new Endless Ocean game. If you're an Endless Ocean fan,
I mean,
don't know.
it was.
I don't know.
There are some people that are like actual like diehards for Endless Ocean. For some reason, I never really understood it, and I like the ocean. I think the ocean is cool, but like a game just around like searching the ocean and like looking at fish, it's like cool, but kind of boring.
I think honestly this game was made because they saw the success of Subnautica, which is a similar like you're exploring the ocean kind of game, and I guess it just didn't stick.
I'd
but on the
rather
9th,
just watch Planet Earth.
On the 9th, we got a big release. We got Animal Well. Released
Animal
on PC,
Well,
Switch, and
baby.
PS5. Go big mode. Go big mode. I need to get this game.
I've heard this game is like Halo 2 meets Halo 3.
Damn, that sounds really good.
That's how
I love all of.
That's how they campaigned
all
it.
his promotion.
Yeah.
These two guys are huge fans of Video Game Donkey. I like to watch his videos from time to time. He made a studio to help publish indie titles and get them out there. And Animal Well was the first game.
This game was made by one person, not Donkey. His name is Billy.
Yeah.
His name is Billy Basso. He worked on this game by himself for 5 years. He did everything.
It's really good.
Yeah.
This is one of like the biggest
indie
indie titles of the years. Like if you're an indie game fan, this was one of the biggest releases of the year. So this is good to see. This is another release that Landon slotted in, I can tell, because of no hyphen. On the 9th, there was also Crow Country, released on PC, PS5, Xbox Series.
I added the hyphen after the fact.
Oh, you went in after. See, I didn't see the updated one. It didn't update for me. But yeah, why did Crow Country get added? I don't know this game.
Because Katie would kill you if you didn't mention this.
Oh yeah, I think I remember her saying something about the game in Discord.
How many times has she brought it up that we were supposed to do this for Spookfest? And we told her, no, we already know what we're playing this year.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But it's getting a physical release in the year of 2025, which means I will own
maybe
it.
we will, possibly. Big asterisk on that one.
But I will own it.
Yeah.
So the next thing that happened that came out on the same day, actually. So a couple of years back, there was a game that came out on the PS4 and PS5 called Stray. It was pretty well received. It was a game where you get to play as a cat and you get to go around. So an indie studio thought, what if we made our own cat game, but we put it on all the other stuff so that other people could play a game where they get to play as a cat? So we got Little Kitty Big City on PC, Switch, Xbox One, and Xbox Series. It did eventually come to PS4 and PS5 anyway later on. It was kind of interesting, I think. But yeah, it was mostly it was actually shown off in a direct for the Switch, in a Nintendo Direct before this came out. So that came out on the 9th. On the 14th, we had Braid Anniversary Edition, released on all modern platforms, including mobile. But it was a 15th anniversary release for Braid, basically. It used to be one of the bigger indie titles way back in the day in the late aughts, and so an anniversary edition release is kind of a big deal enough. We figured we'd throw it in here. The next game, I don't recall putting this in here. It does have a hyphen, but I'm pretty sure that Landon put this in here.
I did.
This is Senua's Saga on the 21st, Hellblade 2, released for PC and Xbox Series. I'm guessing this was like one of the big Xbox console exclusive releases for the year. That's why you wanted to put it in.
That's why
there.
I was like, well, we're not Xbox people, but I'll throw it in anyway.
I was gonna say throw it in for all the Xbox fans out there, but there's so few of those at this point, and I guarantee none of them watch our channel.
Maybe that one person is like, hey.
Maybe that one person.
Hey, if you're listening to this podcast and you're an Xbox person, thank you for listening. We appreciate you.
On the 23rd, we got the Paper Mario Thousand Year Door remake on Switch.
Yeah, good answer, Steve. Game of the Year 2004 and 2024.
Damn,
Is
they did
is
it
that
twice.
because it's the only game you played this year?
No, it's not. Shut up, Landon. It's actually not.
I still need to get this. I loved Thousand Year Door when I played it like way back. So yeah, I gotta get this.
Genuinely though, I had so much fun playing Thousand Year Door again this year. It took me a little bit to like get into the flow of playing it because like I bought it the day it came out and I like kind of played it for a little bit, but then I put it off when I got busy. But then like one day I'm just like, I feel like playing more Thousand Year Door, and I just picked it up. And I like played it nonstop for like an entire week, and it was amazing.
All right. On last thing that happened in May that is of note, it was in early access for the longest time, but we finally got the full relaunch of Multiverses on PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series. So basically almost everything but Switch. That is if you didn't know, that is the Warner Brothers platform fighter that has like a tag mechanic gimmick to it. So it's pretty cool that's a game. I've never played it.
One more thing. Because I know you're just going to move on. May 29th was the release of The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel Northern War for mobile. I played that game once.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. You were like, oh, there's a Trails game on mobile. But that takes up space that Dokkan Battle needs, so...
I have stopped playing it. I got Sarah Valentine and Olivier.
And that's all you need.
And then you beat the game in your mind.
I want to say the one issue with the game is I think they were just trying to play catch up with Japan, because it was like every fucking week was just a new event where they were releasing a new character, and like it was like breakneck speed of like how fast they were dropping stuff, and that's like too quick for me, especially if I'm mostly playing Dokkan Battle. Let's be real. Like, what do you think I'm doing right now?
He's playing Dokkan Battle. So we're going to move on to June, and June doesn't really have a whole lot. There's a grand total of 3 things I put on here, and Landon couldn't find anything else of note, so that's saying something.
I don't know why. It feels like June is usually a pretty slow month for game releases.
And it was extremely slow for this year.
Yeah.
In fact, we'll just go through them real quick. On the 14th, we had Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance, so it was the updated re-release of Shin Megami Tensei 5 with more content.
Man, I still haven't beaten the first one.
Platforms.
I need to play this one.
I still haven't beaten the first one.
The
first Shin Megami Tensei 5, I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And on the 25th, we had the release of Super Monkey Ball Banana Rumble on Switch. That is a new Super Monkey Ball game. The first new Super Monkey Ball game in quite some time, because everything else was like remakes and remasters and stuff. Notable that they've been doing a lot of crossover content, so like a lot of other Sega stuff you can like have as in place of like II. So like they added like Hatsune Miku.
You can play as Miku.
Yeah. You can play as like Chibi Miku in a ball. I might get this game just to play as Miku in it.
Fortnite?
I was gonna say Fortnite can't win me over to play it because of a Miku skin, but Super Monkey Ball just might.
I was gonna say Fortnite didn't get me with Goku. It doesn't matter if they add Godzilla. Fuck
Yeah.
off.
Fortnite is one of those games where they could add everything I could ever ask for in a game and I still wouldn't do it. Fortnite reminds me of that game. I don't know if you remember it, called Mugen. It was a PC game where like you could just like download people's like created characters and stages, and basically it was just like you could just install them into the game, and it was so unbalanced because obviously people were just making characters however they wanted. You could have like stuff like Sephiroth versus Homer Simpson if you wanted. Like it was ridiculous. That's what Fortnite is to me. It's just like Mugen, but they're like shooter.
It basically is. I mean, as far as I know, the characters don't function any differently. They're literally just different skins.
Yeah. So on the 27th, though, last release of June that we have here is Luigi's Mansion 2 HD, which is the HD release of Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon from the 3DS. So it's a little bit more towards a remake since they had to, try to make a 3DS game into a Switch game, which means, adapting a 2-screen game into a 1-screen game. But now you can play all 3 Luigi's Mansion games on the Switch. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So that was actually the first half of the year. Let's just keep going because we've actually not even been here for an hour yet. So, all right. No Tsukihime mentioned. I don't remember that game. You'll have to tell me about it because I think I remember you being interested in a game with that name, and I forgot about it. Whoops. Sorry.
Oh,
Al.
that's the girl from Melty Blood.
Oh.
I'm kidding. I mean, I think she was. Yeah. No. Yeah. She was in Melty Blood.
Oh. Wow. Okay. Came out on the 27th. Al said. All right. Well, we are going to move on to July, and the first major release on the 4th was Zenless Zone Zero on PC, mobile, and PS5. That is the newest game from the same people that made Genshin Impact. Cool.
Who cares?
On the 5th, though, we have the release of The Legend of Heroes Trails Through Daybreak on PC, Switch, PS4, and PS5. And Landon is literally holding up his physical copies for all the platforms that could get a physical release.
I haven't played it yet.
he's listen, in his defense, they've decided they're putting all the Trails games out there this past couple years. So like, it's
love that you were like holding all 3 of them up to the camera. You're so proud. It's just like, yes, Trails time, baby. And then you're just like, haven't played it yet.
I still have to play Reverie, which is the game that takes place before this. And Reverie is sort of like the wrap up of the first 3 arcs, and so I feel like it's smart to play the wrap up game for the first 3 arcs before
that makes sense.
Touching the new arc.
Yeah.
All right. On the 15th, we had the release of Darkest Dungeon 2 on Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series. So oddly enough, a game that did not come out on PC. Probably because it had a PC release like way before and just wasn't listed on Wikipedia, I'm guessing. That's my guess. I don't know. On the 17th, there was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Splintered Fate on the Switch. So that's a pretty big release, I think. On the 18th, we had Dungeons of Hinterberg on PC and Xbox Series. That is basically another one of the few Xbox console exclusive games to come out this year.
I was going to say that one doesn't sound real. I need to look that up.
Yeah. But on the 18th, there was Nintendo World Championship NES Edition on the Switch. You remember the Nintendo World Championships series of games?
Yeah.
Cartridges and stuff like that?
Dude,
now that you got
I don't
a
even
Switch
remember
game.
the Nintendo Entertainment System.
Yeah, we didn't do a podcast on that yet, so I don't remember it either.
I don't even remember the Nintendo Switch.
Damn. We didn't do a podcast on that either.
I'm all
so I
about the
don't
Switch
remember it.
too, baby.
Switch 2, let's go, baby!
On the 22nd, we had the release of the new Denpamen on Switch. That was originally a free-to-play on 3DS, a Japan exclusive title. And they finally brought it over to Switch.
I have a question. Why a free-to-play The Denpamen game?
I don't know.
Thought
I
this
don't
was
know.
The game's fine, but
Like, the free-to-play model only really works if, like, the game either can generate a bunch of buzz and is like a new thing, or is from a very successful established thing. And the Denpaman does have a following, but like it's not really either of those things.
Yeah, it's not like I just want a physical game for the Denpaman 1 through 3 for the 3DS, so Nintendo.
And then the last thing that happened, not a game, but on the 30th of July, the International Olympics, I can't remember what the C stands for, committee, I think. They discontinued their partnership with Nintendo and Sega, which unfortunately means there are not going to be any more Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games series games.
Aww.
So yeah, the Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games series is done. There will be no more Mario and Sonic, unfortunately, unless Nintendo and Sega decide to do something different with them. There's a chance they can do that now. Nintendo, Sega, please do a crossover RPG. That'd be fucking cool. All right. So we're going to move on to August, and honestly, after August, we might have, might be a good point for our break. But unfortunately, another announcement, not a game. On the 2nd, GameStop unfortunately shut down Game Informer. Game Informer had been going for a really long time. They were one of the bigger gaming news and critic sites out there. Honestly, a pretty respectable source. They had really great physical magazine support for a long time. Really sucks to see them go, but unfortunately, GameStop said no more.
I'm pretty sure their head editor left in 2023.
Yeah, so it must have been a difficult decision that they just came to the conclusion it just wasn't gonna work without him. So
yeah, so it they tried it and they kept it going for a year, but I also think it's funny because they did some changes to where you could buy the year subscription separate from the pro membership, and then they just shut it down completely. It's kind of funny to me.
Yeah, what a shame. But on the 2nd, at least on the lighter note, we had the release of World of Goo on PC and Switch. World of Goo 2, the sequel.
World of Goo 2, baby!
When did World of Goo 1 come out? It's been 15 years.
2008 for the WiiWare.
Jeez. Yeah, baby. It was a WiiWare title. It was fantastic.
It was.
I have been playing this, and it is also really good. I love Chapter 4. I'm playing it right now. Not right now. I'm playing Dokkan Battle right now. But I'm loving Chapter 4 specifically because they do a go to the future, and they have what if World of Goo sequel games, and they're all fantastic ideas. So if you have not played World of Goo 1, then you probably have no idea what the storyline is, but there's actually a storyline, and it's funny, and World of Goo 2 brings that storyline to bring some more to it.
All right.
Jack, when are you playing World of Goo 2?
I need to replay the first one, honestly. It's been forever.
It's on Switch.
I own it on Switch. I have it downloaded. I mean, I don't know if I currently have it downloaded, but I have it purchased through the eShop.
Pull open your Switch right now and download it.
It's in the other room.
What the fuck is with you guys in another room? This is the only room I have.
All right, moving on. The next game that came out in August on 16th, and a pretty early release for this franchise, but I guess this is just a thing now. Madden NFL 25. It's the new Madden game for the year.
Madden games usually come out in August.
Do they always come out in
Yeah.
August? I thought that there was a while that they were out in closer to the end of the year, but
they always put them out right before the football season starts.
That's true.
Yeah.
But that came out on basically everything but Switch, so PC, PlayStation, Xbox. On the 20th, we had a couple different games released. Did you have something to add, Jack?
I was just gonna say R.I.P. John Madden. I don't care. I don't give a shit about the games though.
Yeah. On the 20th, we had the release of Black Myth Wukong on PC and PS5, so that was a PS5 console exclusive.
Neat.
And 20th, we had the release of Dustborn on PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox Series, Xbox One, so everything but Switch basically. On the 23rd. On the 23rd of August, we had the release of Concord on PC and PS5, a game that no longer exists.
I really wish that you would have put right below the release of Concord as its own note.
The death of Concord
gets shut down.
I should have, but honestly, I didn't feel like it was deserving enough of one.
Never before.
2 weeks.
Never before has a game been so dead on arrival. Holy shit. And they put billions of dollars into this.
Yeah. So this is hopefully a slap in the a wake up slap to Sony. Maybe you don't need these games. Don't push them.
Maybe you don't.
But on a lighter note, on the 29th, we had a bunch of stuff happen. The first release, Emio the Smiling Man, Famicom Detective Club, that's on Switch. That is the newest release of a series that they recently revived. They had a remake of the first two games. Apparently they did well enough to let the developers do a sequel. So the first Famicom Detective Club game in a very long time. And Landon is pushing the case as close as possible to the webcam, specifically the mouth of one of the characters. And I just remember when this game was originally teased, it was interesting because like Nintendo just dropped like a trailer and said nothing. And it was just a guy with a paper bag on his head, like a creepy aesthetic going on, like flickering lights and like, you know, the typical horror setup. And then it turned out that it was a new Famicom Detective Club game.
I think a lot of people were thinking it was going to be a new Fatal Frame.
That could have been a thing.
Because that's another Nintendo franchise. I think they co-own that with Koei Tecmo.
Yeah, but this is a game that my girlfriend's been playing through quite a bit. She hasn't finished it yet, but she's been enjoying the Famicom Detective Club games. So on the 29th as well, I just put this in here for name alone. The game is not notable in really any way. I just noticed that it was a release. It was released later on other platforms, but on the PC we had Squirrel with a Gun. I think 16-year-old Cloud would find that novel and funny enough to try out. I didn't try it out because that's not me and as a 32-year-old, but I did think that the title was funny, so I wanted to mention it.
I feel like this is a game that Jack is going to stream tomorrow.
Squirrel with a Gun.
This reminds me, I don't know why, I've never heard of this, but the title just reminds me of a fucking like horror indie game that came out on Steam that my friends bought for me called Rat Shaker, where you literally just like shake a rat. There's more stuff that happens in it probably, but they bought it for me and want me to play it at some point, so I probably will. I'll give updated thoughts and maybe stream it.
And then also on the 29th was the release of Visions of Mana for PC, PS4, PS5, and Xbox Series. So we had a new Mana game.
I need to get this.
And then on the 30th, we had two releases, the first of which being the bigger one, Star Wars Outlaws for PC, PS5, and Xbox Series. That is the big new Star Wars game. Pass, exactly. But I put this in here specifically because this is a game that my girlfriend was like wicked into for like 2 weeks. On the 30th,
Star Wars Outlaws?
No. The next title. This next title. Yes, this next title I'm about to say that I haven't said yet was Uma Musume Pretty Derby Party Dash for PC, Switch, and PS4. It is a mini game collection type of game that is based on the Uma Musume series, which was originally started as a mobile game series. It got an anime. It's literally about horse girls. I don't know. It's just a bunch of horse girls horsing around. Yeah.
Take that back.
Take that back. But yeah, it's it looks like a pretty fun game though. It is it's like got like sprite like 2D sprite art. It has like a kind of like the graphical style kind of is similar to like the Scott Pilgrim game. So like it's a pretty cool aesthetic. I've never been into Uma Musume, but it does have a bit of a following with, you know, some of the weirder anime fans out there, and it looked like it was pretty decent. So if you're a fan of horse girl anime, I guess you can pick this one up now that you know about it. Before we move on, it has been an hour. We've got a few more months left and other stuff. So this is going to be the time where I just go ahead and talk at you guys for a few minutes. Oh boy.
I have to pee, sorry.
Yeah, my voice is, I'm doing my best here. So anyway, we've got a Patreon, patreon.com/GamingStooges. We have a lot of exclusive content there. We've got polls. We've got extra videos and activities that we do, and we basically help, you know, we allow our patrons to help steer the direction of content that we do at times, like stream games and upcoming podcast topics. We have that. We also have a special gold stooge tier above the silver stooge tier, which is your basic stuff, that adds in a shout out every time, and they get the access to the exclusive content. The silver stooge tier gets the gets all the other stuff. But we wanted to give a special shout out to our usual. We got Pixel Vixen. I believe that might be it. Yeah, no new members in the last 30 days. I had to check the app just in case. Pixel Vixen. So thank you very much for that. If somebody else also jumped to the gold stooge tier, I didn't see an email about it, so I apologize. But yeah, we've got twitch.com/GamingStooges, where we do all of our streams right now. As Jack mentioned, he is still in the middle of the Apollo Justice Ace Attorney trilogy.
We're taking it one game at a time, but we're like almost halfway done with Dual Destinies. It's a long game. We're currently on the DLC case because we're playing the cases chronologically. So 1, 2, DLC 3, 4, 5, 6, although technically case 1 takes place between cases 4 and 5, but, introductory case, whatever. That's what we're playing right now. Landon is doing Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D remake, which we'll mention later.
I just recently wrapped up the Final Fantasy 1 Pixel remasters. I started a Sonic 2D marathon, and then I learned the hard way that a certain piece of hardware that I used during that does not like my Elgatos when I hook them up, and does not like allowing my Elgato to work with other systems afterwards. So thankfully, a guardian angel at GamingStooges sent me a new one, so I will be able to finish it a few days from this podcast's live stream. But I will be jumping into Final Fantasy 2 Pixel Remaster because that's what I've been doing. I'm going through the Pixel Remasters. But gotta finish the Sonic 2D Marathon first. Played a lot of Sonic 2D games, almost finished. I played a few games for the first time ever. I'll talk more about that later, though.
Listen, I really just want him to play Sonic R.
I did agree.
At
the end of the marathon, I will be doing a tier list and then a 100% run of Sonic R just to celebrate.
What's $140?
Little less than half of a Switch.
And you know what? That's worth it to experience Sonic R. 100%.
Yeah.
So, I tested it. I threw out the first Elgato. So I have two Elgatos currently. I have an X and an HD60S and an HD60X. I had three when Landon gave me the second one, the second HD60X. I tossed my old HD60X so I don't accidentally mix them up. So I have the one that Landon got me, the HD60X, the newer one. That's going to be for my current consoles that are not the Retron, and I'm going to use the HD60S for Retron specifically, so that way they do not touch each other. They will both work with the capture software. I tested it, so I'll be able to continue streaming everything. I'll just have to use two different Elgatos because for some reason Retron decided it wants to be a piece of shit for me. But only that way. I don't know why.
Literally not run into that with mine.
Yep. It is. I don't know what the issue is for me. I don't know if it's a firmware thing or if it's settings that I just don't know how to fix yet, even though I've tried literally everything. But that being the case, I'm just going to move on. I did mention the Patreon. I mentioned the Twitch. We have a Discord. Link to that is in all of our show notes. You can just join it. It's free. You don't even have to be a patron or anything to jump in there. You can tell us how wrong we are for our opinions on games if you'd like. But I think that's everything. So we can go ahead and move on after Landon tells us about
gold tier.
I did do this shout out. Yep.
Did you mention what's coming up?
Oh yes, I did not. We have. So last month we did Sonic Generations 2 GamingStooges Presents. We did like a really cool thing where like we go through and pick levels for a supposed Sonic Generations 2. The levels we picked are interesting. And next month we have a similar snake draft style thing where we're going to be doing the Game Boy Mini. So in February, if you want to jump in and upgrade to the Gold Stooge tier for $6 a month, we've got a really cool thing where to celebrate the Game Boy turning 35. We are picking 35 games for what we think would be a great package for a Game Boy Classic released from Nintendo if they were brave enough to do such a thing.
Did you talk about Tillamook Creamery?
I did. That's your job. You get to talk about it.
Tillamook Creamery. This is the same ice cream that you've seen, like it's literally the same one.
You only pull it out for certain occasions.
Yeah.
All right, let's jump into the last 4 months of the year, and then we can talk about our personal 2024s. The first release on September 5th, this was actually the North American release. It had been released to other territories earlier in the year, but we got the release for Fitness Boxing featuring Hatsune Miku. So if you like any of the fitness boxing games, and you coincidentally want to do a fitness boxing game while playing a rhythm game with Vocaloid, this is a game.
I kind of want to play this at some point. I've heard it's actually like a good workout.
I'm interested because it's a Miku game, and maybe it would get me off my ass. So, yeah. On the 5th as well was the release of Gimmick 2 for PC and Switch.
Pass.
Damn. Landon said that with his chest.
For those who don't know, go watch the Gimmick VODs.
Was it VODs or was it VOD?
I was going to say, wasn't it one VOD?
Pretty sure I beat it the same day I started it.
Let me see.
So we have 3 things that happened on the 6th, so the very next day, so the first week of September, pretty big week. We had the release of Astrobot on PS5. This is a game I have not bought yet and I have not played yet, but I do really want to. It is like one of the biggest games that came out this year that I have not gotten a hold of yet, and I really want to play it.
This is Sony finally did it. They made a game that is a PS5 exclusive that I want to play. Even a broken clock strikes is right.
even a broken clock strikes lightning.
Yeah,
in a bottle.
There you go. That's
even a broken clock strikes lightning in a bottle.
There you go.
Sure.
I do really want to play this game. It looks really good. Sony doesn't deserve to have a game this good, but
they do.
They do have it, especially after coming out like less than a month, like not even less than a month, 2 weeks after Concord, like right after Sony saying, like complaining about how they don't have enough like original IPs, which is a lie.
No, they said that after Astrobot came out.
Yeah, they said it after the release of Astrobot, which is even crazier.
Because
honestly,
Astrobot,
this is not on here, but I should have put that on there for just like how meme-worthy that is.
They really don't deserve Astrobot. They really don't.
Sony through like August through September did some of the craziest fucking shit. We also didn't mention, I think it was around this time, like the PS4 Pro or the PS4 Pro came out this year. We didn't talk about that. The PS4 Pro also came out in 2024.
Everyone knows that.
But yeah, no, the PS5 Pro, I did not put that anywhere, but that also was a thing.
Yes, but like they were just like up, down, like some of the craziest fucking like swings a company can do.
It was
in like days.
Sometimes. Yeah, literal days. Like they were just going back and forth between we're so back and it's so over, just back and forth.
It's Jover. Crazy. We're so Barack.
We're so Barack.
And
all right.
Jover. Oh my goodness.
And it's Jover. Yep. All right, but we got more stuff on the 6th. There was the newest NBA 2K game, NBA 2K25.
Pass.
That was released on everything. And then on the 6th as well, the more important game, we got Ace Attorney Investigations Collection.
Smash.
For PC, Switch, PS4, and Xbox One.
Smash.
Funnily enough, I almost forgot this because I forgot it on my first listing. Landon did not catch it immediately, but I did. So I thankfully added it in before I think Landon probably had time to like add a bunch of other stuff in.
I think it was on this before
you did
did
some
my
extra
pass.
stuff.
This is arguably, I mean, not arguably, it's objectively like a huge release for the series because this is the first official localization of Investigations 2.
Yep.
Which is like people have been asking for literally since it came out in 2011.
Yeah, since the Japanese release is crazy. So it's great that we have the entire Ace Attorney series asterisk in one place.
So thanks to the releases this past year, you can basically play just about every Ace Attorney game. Not everyone, but just about the whole series on just the Switch. and by extension, you'll be able to play it on Switch too. So that's really awesome.
Which is crazy.
Play it all on PS4 as well, because they've released all these games on PS4.
Yeah.
On the 12th, we had the release of Lollipop Chainsaw Repop for PC, Switch, PS5, and Xbox Series. No last gen releases.
I forgot this
remake
came out.
re-release of Lollipop Chainsaw. I forgot that this came out too.
I heard it wasn't great.
I also heard it wasn't great. But
To be fair, I also heard that the original was not great.
I mean, it was okay. It wasn't like an amazing game or anything, but
Yeah, but like,
I've heard the remake
version-
is it's not a very good remaster / remake. Repop.
But also on the 12th, we had, and I still need to get this one, the Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics on PC, Switch, and PS4. So not a whole lot of systems it was released on, but it did release on like probably arguably the biggest audiences that'll get this game. I need to get this because there's a lot of really good games on here.
I really need to get this. I really just want to play Marvel vs. Capcom 2 with Landon.
the only one that owns this game?
Yeah, surprisingly.
I should go get it because at work it's literally $30 right now on sale, and I'm like, why haven't I bought this?
Yeah, just go buy it.
Damn, I should check out my local Walmart.
Yeah, it's on rollback for $29.88.
I mean, to get the game $20 off.
No, it's fine. Do what you need to do.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna puke in my mouth. But that's beside the point. I'm thinking of Norma DePlume.
On the 17th, I believe this was added by Landon because I don't think I remember adding this.
Yeah, it was.
In fact,
the
next
Squire.
The Plucky
In fact,
Squire.
yeah. In fact, the next couple of things I definitely
You
did not
forgot
add.
some stuff.
Only a couple of things, and then
I said some stuff. I didn't say a lot of stuff.
okay. But yeah, the Plucky Squire released on PC, Switch, PS5, and Xbox Series. I'm surprised I forgot this one because I do remember looking at this before. I guess I overlooked it to add it
that's
here.
fine. It's what it is. I'm excited because the physical release for this game is coming out soon, so I will actually experience it. I've heard it's a lot of fun, and it's like a Zelda-like game that goes 2D to 3D, so it'll be very interesting to play. So I'm excited.
On the 18th, we had the release of UFO 50 on PC. I did not add this.
You didn't add this. This one was another one that, like, from what I was looking at, was a popular title. I think it's like a collection of 50 games that you can play.
Oh
on
yeah,
PC.
This is okay. So this is an interesting one because it's one of those like 50 games in one like packages, but all of the games are like completely original and they all like kind of tie into one another. Like if you unlock something in one game, you can like access more shit in a different game. Like I've only seen, to bring him up again, the Donkey video for this game, but it looks interesting actually.
Okay. That does sound interesting enough that I kind of am interested. I don't know if I'd play it if I ended up getting it on PC. I'd probably want like a Switch release for such a game because it sounds like a game that would be fitting on Switch.
That's why I haven't bought it, is because like
I feel like this is a game that this is going to come to Switch when they get a publisher that can do it.
Yeah.
Big mode. Let's go.
Big mode, let's go. Let's get UFO 50 on there.
Come on, Donkey.
Come on, man.
Come on, Donkey. All right. On the 18th as well, not a game, we got Nintendo and Pokemon Company. They filed a lawsuit against Pal World developer Pocket Pair. This was a patent infringement lawsuit on the fact that Pal World, until a recent update, in order to capture the Pals, they would do the same, like throwing an orb to capture the creature as Pokemon. And they were like, well, that's a patent of ours, is using an orb, using a ball sphere-shaped object to catch creatures and hold them. So now they updated the game, so instead of throwing it, you just hold it and it like just sucks them in.
Didn't they also like literally rip assets from Pokemon models?
Yes, but they couldn't find a way to like file a lawsuit on that because I don't think they had the actual like evidence to back that up. So I think it was, but honestly, let's be real. The reason why they filed a lawsuit is because there is a similar, even if it's not the same game series, a lot of people were comparing it. So perception wise, it was a threat to Pokemon, and they defensively filed a lawsuit because they wanted to like kind of like take the air out of the sails, so to speak. Especially because around this time, Sony was was in talks to try to pair with Pocket Pair to get Palworld on PS5, which eventually it did come to PlayStation. But more so, like, they wanted Pocket Pair as like a developer under them to create more Palworld based stuff. And there's a lot of merchandise for this. So again, even though there's like a patent infringement lawsuit, really it's just like we can't let this thing blow up and take over Pokemon's thing. So it's businesses fighting with each other. But I thought it was interesting. It was kind of a big deal in the news. So on the 24th, we had the release of Epic Mickey Rebrushed on all current modern gaming platforms. So we got an Epic Mickey re-release. I never played the original.
I played the original a little bit, and it was fine.
I never played the original, actually.
I never played the original. I was kind of interested, but I never got around to it. On the 26th was the release of The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom on the Switch. That is probably the most notable release for Landon.
The entire year.
This month. The entire year.
Maybe. You said
Maybe.
Probably.
Yeah. And then on the 27th, there was the release of Renatus on PC, Switch, PS4, PS5.
Okay, I put this on here only so I can talk about it. It doesn't happen very often where I cancel a pre-order or trade in a game. And I tried the demo for this game. This game kind of sucks ass.
Really?
Yeah, I did not care for it. That's not to go against, like, it's written by the person who did Kingdom Hearts. Nothing to do with that. I tried it. Combat, I didn't care for the combat at all. So,
okay.
Yeah. Just, I threw it in there so I could talk bad about a game for one time.
October is actually the largest month this year by far. A lot of years in the past, November is usually the biggest month. Not this year. October.
I feel like I've noticed like some developers have been like pushing up like big game releases from November to October. Yeah. And I don't.
It's in. I feel like it's in, like, it's out there in the world. So when the big sales happen for November,
there's like word of mouth.
I think because like it's kind of interesting, despite the internet being a thing, because there's just so many games. Getting a game out earlier so that you can get your foot in the door is a little more important. So yeah, you've been seeing a lot of stuff happen in October. The first thing that happened, though, was not a game release. On the 2nd, there was the unveiling and opening of Nintendo's first Nintendo Museum in Tokyo. So they have like playable like exhibits and stuff like that. So that's really cool. But yeah, if you are a big Nintendo fan and can somehow go to Tokyo, there is now a museum you can visit.
I kind of want to go.
It'd be a good vacation idea for you.
Yeah.
And you can probably afford it with the big boy money now.
Cloud, please. He has children now.
I have children now. I can't afford anything.
Ever,
except to buy Cloud a copy of Balatro every day.
Wait, it's every day now?
I thought it was every month.
What the fuck? He's got to speed up the process. He really needs you to play Balatro.
God. But we're gonna move on. We got actual game releases now. On the 4th, we got the SpongeBob SquarePants Patrick Star game on all current modern gaming platforms.
I didn't know this existed, honestly.
I didn't know either. I saw it at my local Walmart and I was like, oh, this is a game.
Huh.
Yeah, huh. On the 8th, we had the Silent Hill 2 remake on PC and PS5. So that was cool.
Neat.
On the 11th, we got some games. We got Dragon Ball Sparking Zero for PC, Xbox Series, and PS5. I got this game. This is a good game. I enjoy this game quite a lot.
I don't have a platform to play this game with a physical copy.
Yeah, that means there's 3 games that you could buy for playing states the 5th.
What's the third one?
Well, you were insisting.
3 Reload.
You were insisting on getting it for that, and then there's Astrobot, and now now you just need, when tax return money comes in, you gotta get it now. And those are your 3 games.
If I get anything from tax returns this year, I had to owe like $150 last year.
Oh, true.
What you need to do is go to a bank and then do something illegal and then walk out of the bank.
That sounds like a good idea.
But yeah, so Sparking
Public
Zero
urination.
is the much anticipated for 15 years Budokai Tenkaichi 4. They actually went with the Japanese naming scheme for this though. But this is the first major. This is one of the first major games to since like Fighters to have like base game having a bunch of super material in it. So there's like 180 characters and it spans like just about everything as Tenkaichi games tend to do. I am a little disappointed in some of the single player content offerings, but that said, it's still Budokai Tenkaichi 4 basically. And the characters are a lot of fun to play. And the
combat's
combat
good.
The combat's good. There is episode battle, and which is like your story mode, and then there's custom battle where you can make your own, and it's like got conditional branches that are like RPG Maker style. If you've ever used that software on on the console versions, like the branches, like the menu interface for that. So you have tons and tons of options. The problem is they're not well defined, so you don't really know what things do until you test them. But it does give you a lot of options to do stuff.
I like Al's suggestion in the chat. Buy Jack a PS5.
Yeah, I saw that. I just didn't say anything.
Who should buy Jack a PS5?
Yes.
Yes. He just
obviously can't be me. I'm too busy buying Cloud a copy of Balatro every hour.
Now it's every hour. Oh my god. It's going to be every minute, and then it's going to be every second. He's just going to have a bot clicking on buy it now under Balatro pages. I'm just going to have like a flood. Oh my god. But yeah, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, really good game. I need to play more of it. But I do really enjoy it's a good follow-up that is worth being part of the series. Also on the 11th though is the release of Metaphor ReFantazio on PC, PS4, PS5, and Xbox Series. Landon owns this game.
It's another one because on PS4, this game is digital only.
There you go. There's 4 games for you, Jack.
Al says Cloud sells the copies of Balatro to get Jack a PS5. I like this idea.
And I'll still end up with a swarm of copies of Balatro anyway. So yeah, do you have any thoughts to share on Metaphor ReFantazio, Landon?
I've been enjoying it. I'm in the second area, it's Persona 5.5. Like, let's be real. That's exactly what it is. They took Persona 5 and then they took all of the like SMT shit and they were just like, eh. And then they took it over here and they threw in some original characters, except it still has personas. It still has social links. It still has the same structure of
So I have a question. Do they still call them these terms, or are they legally distinct?
They are named different, but it's
that's what I mean.
That's
what I mean. It's like legally distinct versions.
It's like archetype is your persona. And it's like it's just a persona. It's like fellowship or like follower or something for your social link.
Links.
Which that's not even what Persona 5 called it. It was Confidant in that game.
Yeah,
I just use the social link because I like social link as the term for it. But regardless, so like you have that. I mean, it uses the same magic system as the Persona and SMT games because Atlas can't change that. Now it does do some cool things. It does have open world combat, and by that I mean you can press a button to do an attack string to attack enemies on the open world, similar to how
you could in Persona 5 and get like an upper hand on them.
Except and you do that in this game, except it's more involved. It's like a bigger part of the game as opposed to like, you know, they throw in like hordes of mooks that you should be able to like easily dispatch rather than the occasional like, if you grind a fuck ton, like then you can like easily dispatch this unit or like like you said, get the upper hand on. Whereas this, it's like more of a core mechanic. That said, like I'm in the what would be the second time frame period of like a palace in Persona 5. This game starts off with like a tutorial section, and then you get into the first one, and now I'm on the second one, so that's sort of where I'm at in it.
Okay. So we're gonna move on because we still have a lot more to talk about. On the 15th, we had the release of, and I am so sorry if I don't know how to pronounce this, Neva for PC, Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox Series.
I think it's Neva.
Is it Neva or Neva?
Or Neva?
Neva. But I do remember this was a
it's a follow up to Gris.
Yeah.
The French game.
I think I skipped over this one, I'm guessing.
You did. I added it.
Yeah. I could tell because you accidentally put PS5 twice, and I was like, I know I did not make that mistake when I was typing this up. I know I forgot games, but you put PS5 twice, and I'm assuming that it's PS4 and PS5.
I don't know.
Okay.
There's no way to know.
Don't quote us on that. But yeah.
Another one where I'm excited because the physical release is coming in like March.
Okay. On the 17th was the release of Super Mario Party Jamboree for the Switch.
Super Mario Party Jamboree, baby.
I've only played it once.
I did not get this game yet, and from what I've heard, I probably should, because I heard that this is a really good Mario Party, and I probably would end up liking it more than I liked Superstars, based on what I'm hearing.
It's really good.
Like Superstars?
I'm not a big fan of Superstars. I mean,
I love Superstars.
It's fine, but I just didn't click with me.
You didn't like... Are you sure are you thinking of Super Mario Party or Mario Party Superstars?
No, I'm serious. I liked Super Mario Party. I played a lot of that. I did not play a whole lot of Superstars, and it just never clicked for me.
Damn, I'm the opposite. I played a shitload of Superstars, and I didn't really like Super Mario Party that much. But if you like Super Mario Party, you'll really like this one, because it's basically just that game, but better and with bigger and more boards.
I've heard it basically takes the good stuff from both those games and just puts them together and just tries to do the stuff that people didn't like about original Super Mario Party. So I've only played it once because Jack has only ever asked me to play it once, and he's the only person I play games with.
Okay, keep going.
I mean,
let's be
real.
He doesn't have the meat cube game, so it kind of sucks. 0 out of 10.
But it has the meat cutting game. The meat still
10.
looks delicious in it.
But so did the meat cubes.
Yeah, I loved grilling the meat cubes.
I do want to get this game, though. On the 18th, we saw the release of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutants Unleashed for PC, Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series, so all current modern gaming platforms.
It's been a lot of Ninja Turtles.
Big year for Ninja Turtles. Yeah, I put these in mostly for Katie because she's a big TMNT fan. On the 23rd was Rivals of Aether 2 released on PC. So Rivals of Aether, if you don't know, it's a platform fighter similar to Smash Brothers, but it's it's got a lot of cool crossover content plus like unique like original characters as well, and it got a sequel.
Sorry. I was going to say, I've not played this one, but I have played the original, and I think in terms of like all of the platform fighters out there that are like desperately trying to be Smash Brothers, Rivals of Aether is like one of the best ones, if not the best one, because it's like it was developed by people who have actually played a Smash Brothers game.
Yeah. And not just like people who just looked at its success and been like, oh, we can try and do that.
Yeah, no, it feels very, very faithful to Smash Brothers in terms of like, and not that like platform fighters have to be, but like Smash Brothers is just the best one, so why not just try and get as close to that as you can, like gameplay wise.
If I'm not mistaken too, Rivals of Aether also is one of those that did like have like quite a few like indie reps in there as well. I can't remember which characters, but I know there's like a couple of like indie game characters that are in there.
Not that I know of. I could be wrong. It's been a while since I've played, but we'll move on.
Yeah,
Rebels of Aether is good. I just haven't played this one.
On the 24th, there was the release of the Romancing Saga 2 remake, Romancing Saga 2 Revenge of the Seven, for PC, Switch, PS4, and PS5. So
neat.
For people who are big Saga fans, this is kind of a big deal. I've heard that Romancing Saga 2 is considered like a big game for those fans, and this is a remake of that game. So yeah, just wanted to point that out. Len, do you have anything to say about it? Looked like you were gearing up.
I was eating Tillamook ice cream.
Yeah, and
flavor.
you kept like leaning in, so I thought you were like trying to wrap up eating so you could say something about this game.
Oh, I own it. It's sealed in the basement, but I own it.
There you go. The 25th was a big day, actually. We had quite a few games. The first one, least important for us, was the newest Call of Duty game, Call of Duty Black Ops 6 on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation.
Black Ops 6.
This man, to my direction, also did not put this on here.
Because it was because it was the new Call of Duty game.
You put Madden and NBA on this list. Shut up.
Yeah,
I was gonna say.
Because Jack at least likes sports ball.
Yeah, but I don't like the fucking licensed sports games for the most part. I don't give a shit about Madden and NBA 2K.
Fair. Yeah, but you give even less of a shit about new Call of Duty, so I just figured I wouldn't even bother to mention that.
Yeah, but like gamers care about Call of Duty. I mean, actually, at this point, I don't even think that's true.
I like listening to the man to my direction complain about it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. The next game that we're going to talk about real quick is Sonic X Shadow Generations for PC, for everything basically. PC, Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series. It's Sonic Generations and Shadow Generations, and it's a really good game. I did not bring my physical copies of any of my games, as you can see.
We reviewed this one.
We reviewed this one as part of a Sonic double feature review, so if you want to hear our more in-depth thoughts, go listen to that. But this is like one of the newest like quintessential Sonic releases. If you're trying to get into Sonic, like this is a really good game to just pick up and start playing.
Just play this game. Don't do anything else.
Honestly, like I have actually been pretty obsessed with Shadow Generations lately. I keep recently
going back to it.
Yeah, no, I just recently I got all 96 of the treasure chests in the negative zone or whatever it's called.
White space.
The white space, yeah. Honestly, just exploring the white space and Shadow Generations is so fun, and like going out of my way to get all the treasure chests and like actually like finding each one it's fun.
Yeah. Landon, anything to add?
Sonic's funny. Go watch the Great Ace Attorney, buds.
Yeah.
Well, here's a release that Landon could say something about on the 25th as well. You got Ys 10 Nordics on PC, Switch, PS4, and PS5.
He was ready.
He was
the way
ready.
you fucking like threw it.
Thrust
you're like
it forward.
You're like that dude with in the Nintendo DS ad.
Yeah. That's
yeah.
Yeah,
I had a lot of fun with Ys 10 Nordics. It's I haven't played a whole lot of these games yet. I'm working through it slowly. But out of the ones I have played, which is I guess 5 of them now, it easily is one of my top 2. It's like I loved Lacrimosa of Dana, the Ys 8. This one is like, some days I like put it slightly above that, some days I put it slightly below that. I love both of those games. The revamp to the combat system's a lot of fun. The story is excellent. They announced a new version of the game, so fuck this trash. I don't need this anymore.
Yeah.
So.
I can't believe they announced it so soon after the game just came out, and they're like, by the way.
Well, the game came out in 2023 in Japan.
True.
It's not really that close to it's just when it came out worldwide.
For worldwide, but they also announced didn't they announce like the newer version of it as like a worldwide announcement?
They said it will come.
Yeah,
I think they did say it'll come
worldwide,
yes.
No, what I mean is like they didn't just put it in Japanese on like their like Twitter /X Blue Sky.
No,
stuff.
it was at their shareholder meeting.
Okay.
Yeah, which is in Japan. So
yeah,
they just announced it through their shareholder meeting. So
okay.
that was all Japanese, but they people translate that shit real quick.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
But no. It was at their shareholder meeting in Japan. So yeah.
Anyway, on the 29th, we had the release of Life is Strange Double Exposure for PS5, Xbox Series, and PC. That is actually a more direct follow-up to the characters and story of the original Life is Strange. I did I just want to throw it in there because of that. But other than that,
I have seen the first like 10 minutes of this game, and it's pretty funny because no, I'm not going to get into it. We'll talk about it another day. We're already like spending too much time.
On the 30th, we had a couple things happen. There was the release of the Pokemon trading card game Pocket app on mobile, so iOS and Android. It is both a card game simulator of sorts. It has different rules, but you can also like collect Pokemon cards, and they have like all these Pokemon cards made specifically for this game with a bunch of cool full art variants of various cards that are in the sets. So you can open up multiple packs a day. You can like collect it. You can, as of the time of this podcast, we are about to get trading. I've heard it's not that great, but we're going to be 3 sets in. So there's going to be plenty of stuff to jump into. I've been using the app. I haven't played the actual like card battling part of it in a little while, but it's fun to turn on a couple times a day and just, go in there. You can like make binders and stuff to like show off cool stuff that you have as well. You can collect like various like playmats and sleeves to like customize what things look like when you actually go into like games against other players, or you can also play against CPUs in certain missions as well. So it's a pretty fun little mobile game, but it is also a mobile game, so it's not going to be like as big of a release as other stuff, but just thought I should mention it. Do you guys have? I know Al has been using it a lot. I've been using it a lot. A few of the other people in our Discord have been, but I don't know if you two have actually tried it out or anything.
I have not yet, actually. I've been meaning to because it feels like everyone I know in real life has been playing it, but I just haven't really touched it.
Honestly, it's literally just like, I would just say download it real quick, and then just like, it's literally just something you can just put on your phone, open it up like a couple times a day, and like open up a pack and just see if you get anything cool. Like, you don't have to do anything really. So it's just nice to collect the cards because the cards have cool art sometimes. Landon, what about you? I don't think you've really done it. Oh, no. Just Dokkan Battle.
I'm playing it right now.
That's Dokkan Battle. That's Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. All right, let's get this started. But also on the 30th, not a game release, we had Nintendo released an app of their own for mobile phones, the Nintendo Music app. If you are a Nintendo Switch Online subscriber, you can listen to music from various Nintendo games. So they're finally actually doing something we asked for. A lot of people have asked for years now, so that there's an official way to listen to this music. It's not the great. Yeah.
I love this thing. I don't give a shit.
It's not the greatest app in the world, but it's starting off on a good foot. Like, you can't expect them to have everything in one day. They update it every week to add something new. So it is fun to watch and see like what is going to be the next game that they drop the soundtrack for.
They added The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker. Do you need anything else?
Mario.
Not every game, but various games support extended versions too. So depending on the game, like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, for example, you can extend the track to 5, 15, or 30 minutes or 60 minutes. So like you can get like extensions based on whatever you feel like. So yeah, it's what you would expect a Nintendo Music app to be. It's gonna need a lot more time to really flesh itself out, but it's pretty promising. It's a free app if you're a Nintendo Switch Online subscriber, so may as well grab it.
Honestly, how much is Spotify a month?
$12.
$12. And Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Music is free.
Well,
as long as you have a $20 a year subscription base level. Obviously, there's extra tiers, but if you're spending $20 a year on the online, you get this for free.
Yeah. So fuck off, Spotify. You don't even have music I want to listen to. You don't have The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker OST.
I gotta listen to it again. Hop on there because they added the Pokemon Legends Arceus soundtrack, and that's goated.
They dropped that this past Monday.
Yep. On the 31st, on Halloween, spooky, I know. Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered on PC and PS5. Why?
Because they want money?
To play devil's advocate, I think the main reason for this is just to keep it in circulation. But at the same time, Just keep printing the PS4 game?
I think they're just re-releasing it because like they want to build up hype for whatever they're expanding the Horizon franchise into next. Like there was next month we'll see what they're doing here, but it's just to true, it is to keep it in circulation, but more so it's try to keep more attention on it, really, and we'll find out why a little later in this video. But we're gonna jump into November, the very day after Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered came out. We had the release of I might be pronouncing this wrong, Formagia on PC, Switch, and PS5. That is the farming sim with RPG elements, one of quite a few that the Switch directs were hyping people up for, because I guess people like those that play Switch. I didn't play it.
It's got the fairy tale art style.
It does. I did put that in there because of that, because it's like, hey, it's got the fairy tale art. That's something to its merit. We got Metal Slug Tactics on the 5th, released for PC, Switch, PS5, PS4, Xbox One, Xbox Series. That was added by Landon, and I can tell because he put XB1 instead of writing out Xbox One like I did.
Yeah, I don't have time for that shit.
Landon finds a new way to let me know that he added something in each entry that I find it.
Hell yeah, I try my best.
No hyphen, like condense Xbox One. Like he finds some way. One of them, you didn't even add it into a separate bullet earlier. I can't remember which one it was, but it ended up a line underneath with no bullet for it. So that was funny. I
don't see that.
It was in September. The UFO 50 did not get its own bullet. It was just underneath the Plucky Squire bullet. Yeah.
Oh, well, whatever.
Formatting. But anyway.
Listen.
Metal Slug Tactics, I missed this one, I guess. So you wanted to tell me about it?
I am excited for the physical release to drop. Waiting for that shipment in April, man. And I double-checked Penny's Big Breakaway is supposed to be March. So we'll see.
All right. On the 7th, we have the release of Mario and Luigi Brothership, the first new Mario and Luigi game in a very long time. Jack, do you have any thoughts you want to share on Mario and Luigi Brothership?
Say brother shit like you're supposed to.
I have it. I haven't played it yet.
Is it open?
No. It is not open. I got this for Christmas, so.
I've heard some good things. I've heard some things, but I mean, we got a new Mario and Luigi game, so.
I've heard from the people that like Mario and Luigi games that it is a good Mario and Luigi game, so.
It's probably, I didn't pay any attention to the Mario and Luigi games that were on 3DS, so, hopefully this is better than those. You don't really need to. Hopefully this is better than those, and that's enough. On the 12th, there was the release of Tetris Forever on all current modern gaming platforms. This is here because this is an anniversary release similar to the Braid release I mentioned earlier, but it's Tetris. So we had a big celebration anniversary release in Tetris Forever. I did not know about this game till I did notes for this, but I do think that's pretty cool. Landon, do you know anything about this game?
Hell no. But I do know something about the next title.
The next title, on the 14th, Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake for PC, Switch, PS5, Xbox Series.
Yeah.
Dragon Quest III. I gotta get that sometime. I have to push it back a bit from when I was intending to get it, because Landon so graciously got me 2 more Dragon Quest games for Christmas, so I'm gonna be playing through at least 11S before I go to 3, and I'm almost finished with Dragon Quest 9, so I will be hopping into 11 soon.
Hell yeah, baby!
I already started playing Dragon Quest 11S, and I did like what I played of it so far. I'm about 6 or 7 hours in, so it's going to be fun to get back to that. But I do want to get this game, Dragon Quest 3. Looks great.
Fucking love it.
On the 14th, as I alluded to earlier, we got Lego Horizon Adventures for PC, Switch, and PS5. Yeah, we got a Sony IP, technically. It's more of a Lego game, but still, it's a Horizon game on the Switch. Again, gross. I think this is a release that, I'm sure Sony probably just put the Horizon Zero Dawn remaster out in front of in order to try to get people to be like, hey, we still do Horizon stuff. There's going to be a new game, but here's a remaster so that you guys remember that there's Horizon stuff, because we know that our fans are monkey-brained. So We just want to make sure. If you're a Sony fanboy, by the way, listening to us, I'm sorry. Thank you for listening to the podcast.
Listen, I own a PlayStation 5.
Oh yeah, I mean I do too, and I have several games for it.
Sony has IPs that I enjoy that Sony claims they don't have.
They don't. They claim they don't have them, and yet
we are. We're at a crossroads. What do you want me to do?
The last thing on this list, and only released on the 19th, so the rest of November largely uneventful. And this is also a smaller release. I just wanted to add it though. It is Toho Spell Carnival, released on the Switch, PS4, and PS5. I added this mostly because I don't usually add Toho stuff unless it's made by Zune, the creator of the series himself. But this was published by Idea Factory, which does the Neptunia games. So they're adjacent to NIS, and when they do Toho games, I do like to make a note of them because they're one of the bigger publishers that do Toho games. It's like a strategy RPG of sorts, but it's kind of weird. It's kind of like, as far as how you place your units, it's more similar to Dragon Ball Fusions, where it's like a big circle rather than like a grid. Yeah, so it's interesting. I have a passing interest in the game because of that. So yeah, it was in the Toho fandom that plays the games like a bigger thing, so I wanted to just make a note of that. But that does it for November. We've got December. This is the last month, so let's get through it so we can talk about our own personal stuff for the year. On December 3rd, we had Animal Crossing Pocket Camp Complete released on mobile. Basically what happened was they discontinued the online servers for Pocket Camp, and then they were nice enough to be like, okay, let's put a version out that you can play offline. Now you do have to pay money for it, but it does give you basically everything that you would have had access to when the servers were still running, but you'll be able to just do it offline and you can have it forever. So it's a nice way to continue playing Pocket Camp if you like it.
I'm surprised they never did this with Dragalia Lost.
Yeah, I am really surprised they did that, because I know it's not like one of their big IP, but people played Dragalia Lost and they were upset when Nintendo was shutting this down. I'm surprised they didn't do anything with that.
Yeah, they could have easily done a complete version of that and just sold it for $10.
Yep.
Like they do with this.
But I will say, this game is basically one of the examples of, if you're gonna have a games as a service model, have the mind to try to release a complete offline version of it later when you're taking it down the service version of it, because it's you're gonna get people that want to keep playing it. So I mean, even if you have to pay for it, it's nice to have a version that you can keep playing and have. So it's good that this exists. Also on the 3rd, I did not list this. This was added by Landon. Anton Blast on PC. I don't know.
Jack, your thoughts?
What?
Fake fan. This guy doesn't even like Wario Land for real. Get him out of here.
Oh, is this like a Wario Land style game?
Yes.
I've never heard of this game.
Get this fake fan out of here.
So hold on. Anton Blast is one word, by the way. And now he just messed up our fucking webcam thing.
I fucked up your video. Ha!
Yeah.
But now it's back.
Yeah,
it's back. We're fine.
We're good. But Anton Blast. On the 5th, we had the console release of Fantasia Neo Dimension, which is from Hironobu Sakaguchi. It was originally locked to Apple Arcade for the longest time, and then they were like, okay, now we can put it elsewhere. So now it's on everything else besides Xbox One for some reason. PC, Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox Series, no Xbox One release. It's cool that this exists now and is playable and everything else.
I don't like that this is a Square Enix store exclusive.
Yeah, it's kind of stupid.
Just like how Pixel Remaster was originally for the physical release, a Square Enix store exclusive.
Yep.
It's available elsewhere now, but when they launched it, they're like, no one's going to want to play this, so let's not put it into actual brick and mortar stores or anywhere else.
It is kind of weird. Like I can maybe understand them not doing major physical releases for the Final Fantasy 7 and 8 package and like the Final Fantasy 9 release, but like Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster is like a bunch of new games, and it was like finally coming out to not PC, and they were just like, but we're not gonna put it out there. It's because they want to be able to charge extra money, because they knew that they wouldn't have been able to charge the extra if they put it at big box retail.
They released it for $75 at when they put like the Pixel Remaster out to other stores. It's $75.
They got away with it, and they just didn't bother to do that in the first place. I don't know,
yeah.
But whatever.
Yeah, they were just trying to drive scarcity.
But
originally.
Anyway, Fantasia Neo Dimension. Good to have this on other platforms. Now, also released on the 5th was Infinity Nikki on PC, mobile, and PS5. That was the, it's like a dress-up simulator game with like RPG elements. It looked interesting enough. It was on one of the Sony State of Plays. So I just want to throw this in here. The 6th was the release of Marvel Rivals on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series. And I want to mention this because it did gain a following for having some character design.
Because they used the same, I think, person that they used the characters, like for characters, body scans that they did for Final Fantasy 7. Is that what we're talking about?
Sure. I didn't know about that part. I was just going to say that like a lot of people really like the plot and assets to some of the characters. So
that's what I'm talking about. Like they have like the same. Basically, I think the person who did either Aerith or Tifa for the new Final Fantasy, like Square Enix, used them for some of the characters in this for their like body modeling.
So it's another like hero battle type of game. So like
overdone.
Exactly. Overdone. Exactly. At this point, it really is. So we're just going to move on to the 9th was the big release for Microsoft this year at the very tail end of the year.
You know, I tried to sprinkle in like the other two games that came out for Xbox, but like
there's still slim pickings. I mean, even Sony had a couple more.
Yeah.
But we got Indiana Jones and the Great Circle released on PC and Xbox Series. So
I did not know this was an Xbox console exclusive.
Yep.
I will give them credit, I guess. I've heard good things about this one.
Admittedly, it sounds like it is a good game, so at least they had a good game exclusive to their console come out this year, but like it's crazy that just how dry Microsoft's library is for exclusives. On the 10th, we had The Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver 1 and 2 Remaster, released on all current modern gaming platforms. It's on everything basically but mobile. And also on the 10th, which is actually the last thing worth really mentioning, was Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Rita's Rewind, new Mighty Morphin Power Rangers game in like a retro like inspired style on PC, Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series. So yeah, that is everything for the year as far as like stuff we wanted to mention in chronological order, but I'm sure all of us have stuff we want to talk about based on just games we've played that may not have come out this year, or streams, be they, whatever the case may be. So let's go ahead and just go around and talk about what have we done this past year. Jack, we'll start with you.
Me?
What'd you do for gaming in 2024?
Oh, well, according to Landon, I don't play video games anymore, so I guess you can just skip me.
No,
I said you played Paper Mario, The 1,000-Year Door.
You said that was the only game I played.
Yeah, you can talk about it.
Listen, we're already 2 hours in. Please tell us about your 2024.
Okay. 2024, let's see. Games I played that didn't come out this year. I played through Apollo Justice via the Apollo Justice trilogy, which technically came out this year. I revisited it for the stream, and honestly, I liked it more than I remember liking. Granted, it still has some issues that are pretty blatant, and it has an ending that feels very rushed. But it's still pretty fun. It's a solid Ace Attorney title. I almost said time. And I had fun streaming it with Landon. After that, I did a stream for Banjo-Kazooie, which was fun, but it was also frustrating in certain parts, especially the swimming controls. I did a hardcore Nuzlocke of Pokemon Emerald, and spoiler alert, I didn't lose, so you can go watch the VODs for that on YouTube.
Good job.
I replayed Uncharted 4 as a stream, and it's still a phenomenal game and one of my favorite games of all time. I played The Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog, which, was a 3-stream series, but Landon and I did that one together, and it was really fun. I wish it was longer, because I want a full-length game like this with Sonic characters, because I would buy the shit out of that.
When's the Sonic the Hedgehog crossover with Ace Attorney?
I wish. I played The Walking Dead final season via Telltale, so that's the last one we'll see from that series. And it was pretty fun. It was a solid ending to the series. I did a redux of Night in the Woods, where Landon and I did voices for all the characters, and honestly, I liked that stream series a lot more than I liked the original Let's Play, so I'm glad we did that. And then we started Dual Destinies, which so far has not been my favorite, mostly because the majority of the game has been one of my least favorite cases in the franchise, and we're in the middle of a pretty good one, I will say. But anyway,
it's the high point of this game, so it's all downhill from here.
Oh boy. I mean, it has a pretty exciting ending. Case 5 is pretty good.
Oh, well, yeah. But
we'll get
usually,
there.
Usually the last case is decent.
I was going to say, yeah, usually the 5th case is kind of the best one by default. Like, if you've got a good Ace Attorney game, then the last case is going to be the good one. But if a different case is the best one, then it's either, like, crazy fucking good or you fucked up somehow.
Yeah.
Anyway, I played several games this year. I'm going to go and give a quick top 5. I played Mario vs. Donkey Kong. I did beat it, actually. A great game. Had a lot of fun. I played Balatro. I didn't start playing that until a few weeks ago, but it's been pretty fun, and I enjoy it. It's been pretty addicting. I haven't been, like, as glued to it as some people are, but I'm still, like, if I ever have a few minutes to do something, I'm just like, I'll start a run of Balatro. Sonic Cross Shadow Generations was amazing. Like, Shadow Generations is pretty phenomenal. We reviewed that already. I don't really need to talk about that too much. Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door remake is a great remake of one of my favorite games of all time, and I had a blast replaying it this year. And just the other day, for the sake of having another game to talk about during this segment, I started and have nearly beaten Animal Well, and it is fucking fantastic. I'm pissed at myself for waiting this long to play it, but like, I started playing this like on Sunday, and I played it for like 4 hours straight. It's so good.
Jack, I'm sorry, we're in 2025 now. You have to wait to talk about the game until...
You're so mean to him. You got him to leave. You got him to get up and leave. He's really... Wow.
So, Cloud, what have you played in 2024?
I guess I have to go now since Jack just got up. All right. So
I'll order him a copy of Balatro to make up for this.
So I had started getting back to this game, I think before we did the 2023 year in review, but I didn't play too much of it until after that had already been finished. I have a couple of these kind of games, so I'm just going to rattle all of them off at once. I finished Bravely Default. That is now my new favorite 3DS game. I know that it has some faults. It is still my favorite 3DS game now. Like, I love the shit out of that game. I maxed every character. I maxed every job class, asterisk. That's what it's called, not asterisk as in like with a caveat. Like, I leveled all those up to max. I maxed out all my character stats. I beat the optional boss. I got the true ending and everything. Like, I love that game. I also believe I started it before the 2023 year in review. Maybe I might have started it right after, but it was around that time. I don't remember if I talked about it, but I did play Zelda 1 and actually beat it and went through it for the first time. So Zelda 1, that was really fun. And also, I had gotten about halfway through the game well before, but I started getting... I actually went back and finished Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu. Some of the post-game content is actually pretty good, but I will say I was kind of drained of the game itself by the time I got there. So I only did like the fight against Green. I got Mewtwo. I did some of the I did the gym leader rematches because there's one for all those. And then I did the fight with Blue. I haven't done the master trainers though, so I haven't been able to fight Red yet. But there's a lot of post game content. So I finally beat that game. Jacker, did you want to finish what you were talking about earlier? You had one other game, right?
I'm
After
done.
Animal
That
Well?
was it.
No? Landon.
I'm sorry.
I was basically done.
Oh, you were? I thought you had another game to talk about besides Animal Well.
That was all 5.
Oh, it was? Oh, for some reason I thought you only said 4. Okay. That's my bad. So yeah, that's the stuff that I may or may not have started around the time we did the last year in review, but I was playing those games in 2024. Shortly after that, I went on a bit of a Project Diva kick, because I had found Project Diva Mega Mix, which was released back in like 2020. And I played the shit out of that game. I've already spent 80 hours on that game. I love it, even though there's no, like, it has aspects to it that are not, it clearly the effort was not put into this game like previous Project Diva games were. But I mean, it has like 250 songs, so like I can't go wrong with that. It literally has like almost every song that I care about. But that also led me to playing the first game on PSP. The second game, Project Diva Extend, those are all PSP, and I had to import those because those were Japan only. But yeah, it was fun playing through a bunch of the earlier Project Diva games. I also tried Project Diva X, which I only like played a demo of for 5 minutes beforehand, but I actually got into playing it for a bit. It's a little different, it's a little weird, but it's kind of fun. I also ended up going on actually, let me say one game I played first that's separate. I played Super Mario RPG with the remake for the Switch. That was my first exposure to Super Mario RPG, and I see why there's a lot of people that like that game. Super Mario RPG, I wouldn't say it's like, it's not like a super high up RPG for me, but it was really solid. The characters were fun. I like Mallow and Gino quite a lot. The boss fights are quite a bit of fun. There's like usually some unique gimmick to each of them that changes up the gameplay just a little tiny bit that I liked. The story is pretty nice. Just good game, just solid all around. I like and then I went on a big classic Final Fantasy binge because I got the Pixel remasters, as we talked about the Pixel remasters earlier, based on like their physical release. Well, I didn't get the physical release, but I did get them when there was like a bundle on sale. So I have them on the Switch, and I played through, for the very first time I played through Final Fantasy 2. I actually finished a playthrough of Final Fantasy 4 for the first time. I'd played it numerous times but never finished it. I only ever got like maybe halfway in at most, but finally sat down and finished a playthrough this time. Final Fantasy V I played for the first time ever. That is now one of my favorite Final Fantasy games. Holy shit. The job system in that game, just the combat overall is just a blast. Like, that is one of the most underrated Final Fantasy games. That is a Final Fantasy game I actually think that Landon would like. I know. Like,
What?
I know, that's a really weird to hear, but I think you would like Final Fantasy V because just the vibes that it gives are not the kind of vibes that like the typical Final Fantasy game that you do not like give off. So like, I think you'd like it.
Okay.
Final Fantasy VI, I actually played through completely for the first time. I only ever got like a couple hours in at most once before. And that is also now one of my favorite Final Fantasy games of all time. That is also one of my favorite RPGs of all time now. One of my favorite games of all time. That game is phenomenal. Can't believe I didn't play through it sooner. Like, Jack, I see the vision. Like, Final Fantasy VI is fantastic.
Yeah.
I did something a little different when I played through it, because like most people, they're usually their main character that they like go for most of the time is like Terra or sometimes Locke. I decided to stick with Celeste. I love Celeste. She's like my favorite. I also decided to try to play Mystic Quest. I didn't quite finish it. I got to near the end of the third section of the game, so like I'm probably about 65-70% of the way done. Yeah, It's okay. It's a very basic RPG, which is exactly what the game intended to be. But yeah, I've been playing that on Meritron. A physical and SNES card is sitting near my TV that is behind me that I play that on. That's weird. I played through the first Phantasy Star game for the first time. I played through it on the Switch because I'm not going to play through it on an earlier release of that game, because that game is such a guide dang it type of game without the quality of life features that the Switch version, the Switch Sega Ages release has. So I also started Phantasy Star 2. I didn't get super far in. I'm probably about like 5 or 10 hours in at most. But I've mostly been doing a lot of grinding. It's a very grindy game. So I mentioned Pokemon TCG Pocket. I mentioned Sonic X Shadow Generations. I mentioned Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Well, one last game I wanted to mention before I mention the streams that I did. I played Wii Sports Resort for the first time. That's actually a pretty good game. I want to go back and play more of it at some point. Wii Sports Resort has a lot of content on it, so it's pretty solid.
Have you done like the fly around through the island yet?
I haven't, but I really should.
Oh, it's really fun.
I've seen people doing it like in footage for videos, and I'm like, oh, that looks so cool. So yeah. For streams, and one of these is a game that came out this past year, was Penny's Big Breakaway. The only regret I have about streaming that game is because of the way that my stream setup was at the time. I didn't get to listen to the music, but I've heard little snippets of the music and it sounded pretty good. That game plays so good. I love the Saturn graphical aesthetic, the Sega Saturn graphical aesthetic that it has. It controls really nicely with the yo-yo mechanics. It's from Christian Whitehead in a new studio, the same guy that did the Sonic retro engine ports that helped us get Sonic 3 and Knuckles finally re-released, if with some caveats. So great work. I loved Penny's Big Breakaway. I hope that he continues making more games like this in whatever way he wants to, because rock solid game. I also streamed and played through Lexine's Quest, a certain generic RPG, a game created by Landon. And
Gross.
On our Patreon, if you subscribe to the Gold Stooge tier, we did an interview with the developer, Team KJ. So you got to dissect the brain of the developer for this game.
Also gross.
So it was a fun enough time. I will say that there was a few points when I had to have Landon fix the game for me so that I could play it some more. We got to Project 2 (11). So there was quite a few revisions.
I also made the one boss easier.
Yes. That one, oh my god, that one boss. I know which one you're talking about. That fucking optional boss that dude hit like a truck. Like, oh my god.
But you unlocked the area for where you got some of the best characters in the fucking game.
I did. and I enjoyed getting those characters. So I did max out almost everybody's level too. Like, I went through the effort of like getting everybody just about to level 99. So I also streamed Ape Escape 2. I will eventually stream Ape Escape 3. Revisiting Ape Escape 2 was a lot of fun. It was nice surprising Al, who is back from eating dinner, with the fact that the 4Kids voice cast from like Pokemon, like Misty and Ash voice characters in this game, in the American release, not the European release that is on PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4 that you can get. Unfortunately, they went with a different voice cast, but the original release had those, and they even had Dan Green as Spike. R.I.P. Misty's voice actor. She unfortunately passed away this past year as well, Rachel Lillis, so R.I.P. to that. And I also managed to start, and I think I finished it before the new year. I streamed Super Mario 64. I might have finished it right after 2025 started. But that was a fun revisit. I hadn't played it in many, many years. I hadn't played it since I was literally a kid. I know I started it at like the end of December, and the VODs all went out after the new year, if I remember correctly. But yeah, Mario 64, still fun. I played it through the 3D All-Stars. Yeah, that's everything major. I tried to play a little bit of Link to the Past and a little bit of Minish Cap. I just kept slacking on them, so I never really played too much of them, unfortunately. But that's about it for 2024. I have other stuff. I've already started on 2025 stuff, but I will just save that till next year. We'll talk about that on our 2025 year in review.
Okay.
Landon.
So I will go through my stuff really quick. This is all my stream stuff. It's right in my hand, so we'll go with that quick first.
Oh, I do have one more game to mention because I
Oh.
forgot I skipped over it when I was talking about Final Fantasy.
Go
I
ahead.
started playing Final Fantasy VIII Remastered. I'm almost
You
done.
didn't skip. You didn't miss anything.
I didn't miss anything. It's
Oh, wait.
fine.
Here it is.
It's like it's a game I'm just going through the motions for, but I almost finished it. It was okay.
Here's the stuff was my leftovers from 2023 going into 2024. Zelda 1 on the Game & Watch, Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, fantastic. Dragon Quest Monsters: The Dark Prince, a lot of fun. And then The Legend of Heroes Trails to Azure, fucking love that game. So that's those. For stream titles, I finished up Tunic. That was a game, that's for sure.
That was a game that you played.
Game of the Year 2024.
Zelda
The Legend
Wind
of
Waker,
The Wind Waker
HD on Wii U, released in 2014, 2013.
We played through Euphoria: The Saga 2, classic, love that. We played through Mario vs. Donkey Kong, love that, classic. We played through Dragon Quest 1 and 2, don't look at 3.
Not
Classics.
the HD 2D release that hasn't come out yet as of this podcast.
No, these are the mobile versions that were added to the Switch.
That were ported
Love
over to
those,
Switch.
classic.
Yeah.
We played Mighty Switch Force 2 specifically. It's that one.
The
Love
second
that.
one.
Classic.
Classic. Gimmick.
Played Gimmick. Played the Oregon Trail. Love that. Classic. Played
Gimmick,
Frog
not a
Gun.
classic.
This one's fun. Played through The Quarry.
Was it spooky enough?
Yeah. We played through Crystallis, and then we played through because it was the year of Dragon Quest, Dragon Warrior Monsters for the Game Boy.
Yeah.
And then the other ones that I don't have physical releases for that we played, I did streams for was Gargoyle's Quest. I think that's
And?
it. Oh, and Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D remake. Classic.
Okay.
Love that game. I think that's
Uh,
that's it
so-
for the streams. Just a couple other games. I'm sorry. Not even-
you have more.
that was just the stream.
Goodness.
Games that I played this year. I visited some Mario platformers. I don't like that one. This one's fun.
He doesn't
was-
like Mario DS, New Super Mario Brothers DS.
Yeah. I do like
New Super Mario Brothers Wii.
I'm in the middle playing Unwound Future. I'm waiting for
Professor Layton on my future.
a new stylus. Fuck, man. Sea of Stars fucking slaps. This is absolutely one of my favorite games I played this year.
That got the physical release this year, right?
Yeah, the
Or was
physical
that-
release
yeah.
came out this year, which is why I actually played it. So that was great. Opus Echo Starstorm physical release also came out in 2024. Enjoyed that. 2 games I was very surprised with: Cocoon and Frog Detective. Both fantastic. I highly recommend checking both these out. This one is definitely Jack would love this game, Frog Detective. Cocoon's a great puzzle game. And then one I need to play more of is Tokyo Xanadu EX Plus. I started the PS4 version, got to basically where you can do the first save. I got in further
so
with
just
the Switch
about-
version.
So just about as far as Persona 4 Golden, then.
Yes, but the Switch
Nice.
version I got further into. So
Oh.
there's hopes and dreams on that one. And then I showed off all the games I bought and played for this year. Some other ones. Let's see. The Donkey Kong Land games, played through all 3 of those because those dropped on NSO, and I think that's about it. Yeah. To give a quick some of the games I really love, my top. Where is it? Where is the note? There it is. From what I would say is probably my top 10 games I played this year. We're gonna go. I actually really liked Euphoria: The Saga 2. Sandland, Dragon Ball Z Sparking Zero, Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D Remake, Frog Detective: The Entire Mystery, Cocoon, The Latro, The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom, East 10 Nordics, and Sea of Stars. And then honorable mentions to Emio, Another Code Recollection, and Animal.
Oh, Jack, don't leave yet. We're just about to move on to the next part. No, god damn it.
So now what do we do?
I guess I wasn't gonna do one, but I guess I can do a top 5 or top 10 games from this year. Not from this year, but games that I
That you
played this year.
Yeah.
I would say that my number 1 is Final Fantasy VI, because that game is just phenomenal. My number 2 is probably going to be... it's a toss-up, but I'm going to give it to Bravely Default over Final Fantasy V. But then Final Fantasy V, Sonic X Shadow Generations, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. I think that would probably be... that's probably next. And Hatsune Miku Project Diva Megamix is up there as well. So that's 7. Penny'sburg Breakaway. We'll give that. That's 8. You know what? Phantasy Star, that's number 9. I gotta give it to Phantasy Star for number 9. And you know what? We'll give number 10 to Lexine's Quest, a certain generic RPG.
Gross.
No, if I would probably give it to Final Fantasy IV because I finally managed to like finish that for the first time. But I mean, Lexine's Quest was a fun time as well.
I forgot one thing.
Yes.
Probably the most important thing, the actual game of the year, Runner 2, came out for fucking Switch.
Yeah. The Switch is no longer a failed system. Circa 2024.
It is
according
a
to
mediocre system.
Sure. All right, so I wanted to just go around real quick. Is there anything... I have 2 questions. First one, is there anything that you didn't get to play that came out this year that you didn't already mention earlier in the podcast, like you want to get around to it? Because for me, I mean, I basically said the ones that I really want to get to earlier, but you know, Astrobot's kind of like the big one of all of those. But there's a couple others. Mainly just Astrobot, but
I mean, Astrobot, I think I mentioned most of the other ones. I'm looking forward to playing through Penny's Big Breakaway, The Plucky Squire, Neva.
I also want to
Tactics.
I want to get back to Persona 3 Reload.
Yeah, playing through Persona 3 Reload, Unicorn Overlord. 2024 had a lot of games. Like,
yeah,
it had a lot of like good releases. So, like,
surprisingly enough.
Yeah.
Well, most important for you, you got to get back to Balatro.
Okay.
He's literally just grabbing his Switch right now to play some more Balatro. Jack, what about you? Anything you haven't mentioned already in the podcast that you want to get around to that came out this year you didn't get to play? Bucket list items?
Not really.
You okay, Jack?
I pretty much said everything that was. I mean, if it was, I mean, if we talked about it and I haven't played it yet, I probably said,
okay,
I still need to play this one. So
and then last question is, out of what we know is supposed to come out this coming year, what are you excited for? We got Metroid Prime 4 is a big one, I'm sure, for you guys.
Is that it?
I'm trying to think for me. If there's what is coming out this year that I know of. Honestly, I think we might have to just do a podcast on anticipated stuff for 2025.
There's not even like a whole lot that comes to mind, which is unfortunate.
Not a whole lot's been really announced. Unfortunately, this is like going to be the last year of the Nintendo Switch. We'll talk about it, but the Nintendo Switch 2 was finally officially revealed. It got like a trailer, like first introducing it, and that's going to come out this year, and they're going to do a direct in April that we're going to do a podcast for. So like, this is the Switch's last year, so I don't expect too much out of the Switch. We haven't seen a whole lot coming out this gen for PS5 and Series X, all Series X/S, all that much. There's been some stuff this year, but I mean, it's been a pretty uneventful generation compared to previous generations. So like, unless they announce something big, we're not going to get too much this year, I don't think. We'll see.
I think most of the stuff like I'm looking forward to is like physical releases for games that came out in 2024 that are scheduled to release in 2025.
I don't know when it's supposed to come out. It's supposedly supposed to be out in 2025, but Pokemon Legends ZA, which we still know nothing about, is supposed to come out this year. And I am excited for that because I loved Pokemon Legends Arceus. So.
Actually, Trails Through Daybreak 2 is coming out. Right, literally, like, let's see, this podcast goes up on the 7th, literally next week. So the 14th, it goes up on the those games come out on the 14th.
I am interested in getting the Yu-Gi-Oh! Early Days collection, which is a collection of Yu-Gi-Oh! Games from the Game Boy, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance. And several of those games were never localized outside of Japan until what's coming up. There's like 14 games. Admittedly, several of those in batches are like pretty much the same game as like each other. But there is at least like 7 or 8 unique games in there, and they're going to have online. They've already got one game that's going to have online supported, and I'm a sucker for a good collection, and Konami's actually providing a good collection for something. Al says he's looking forward to Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii in February. That sounds ridiculous. What the fuck?
It
Pirate
looks ridiculous.
Yakuza in Hawaii. Okay.
I'm never going to catch up on that franchise.
No.
Never. They're going to release games faster than they can bring out Trails games, which
Speaking
is really
of,
fast.
Also, the Trails in the Sky first remake is supposed to come out in 2025.
Yep.
I'm very excited for that. That what they've shown off so far looks fantastic. And Xenoblade Chronicles X remaster for the Switch also. I'm excited for.
We're finally going to get Xenoblade Chronicles X, meaning that the Switch is a Xenoblade machine, confirmed.
You can play it all.
It's a Xenoblade machine, and an Ace Attorney machine. It's literally two of the things that Jack could ever ask for.
It's true.
So yeah, that's about it. We've been going for about 2.5 hours. Is there anything major outside of this big discussion that we've had that you'd like to talk about, Jack?
No, I got nothing.
Okay. I did mention already I was doing a Sonic marathon. By the time this goes out, I'll have it done. I had to interrupt it because I came across some problems. But that was my big project, and that's really it. I've just kind of been working, and nothing really new and exciting for me. So I'll pass my time. Landon, you got a couple of anything you want to share?
I gotta go change some diapers.
He has to go change some diapers. So with that said, we're just going to roll the outro, and we'll see you guys in a couple of weeks with our next episode. We're winding down. We're almost at the end of the season. We got some more cool topics ahead. So we'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Gaming Stooges Talks podcast. If you enjoyed us, consider subscribing to our podcast RSS feed, or follow us on youtube.com/GamingStooges and twitch.tv/GamingStooges for more gaming content. If you'd like to chat with us, join our Discord. The link can be found in the episode description. We also want to thank all of our Patreon supporters. Your continued support means a lot to us. Not already one? Please take a look at what we have to offer anyone who becomes a patron at patreon.com/GamingStooges. See you next time.